Well, they won the national anthem. The Adelaide boys won the anthem again. It was Richmond who broke, of course, which is irrelevant, but it was interesting and great and spine-tingling stuff.
Oh, a wall of sound hit us, didn't it?
What about the deep breaths and then some shallow breathing by players on either side?
Oh, yeah.
There's 44 young blokes, 22 will be a premiership player tonight, and because no one else has done it, but the breathing got
Daniel Taylor,
just watching, they were taking some big gulps, and then there was some shallow stuff, and there was a lot of swallowing. So,
and what about this, Mick? It's great to have you in here right now, because when this ball's bounced in 2 minutes time, you want them hard, you want them aggressive, you want them, if you can hurt, you want them to hurt, but you also want composure. You don't want to give away that silly free. Which way do you lean on? Or are you prepared to cop one?
No, you've got to win that first ball. You've got to win the first ball. And look, if you upset, knock someone on their backside, or look, I'm an advocate that it's got to be fair and square.
Yeah, but are you as a coach prepared
you've got to go hard at it?
Prepared to concede a free kick because of over-exuberance?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't want it to happen straight away, but anyway.
So Trent Cotchin comes to the middle for the toss of the coin, and he awaits Taylor Walker, who'll join him, and we're just about set to go in the grand final of 2017.
This quarter of SEN Football for Ashlaw Van Solutions, the experts in fitting out your vans. Google Ashlaw Van Solutions.
So Walker and Cotchin in the middle of the MCG, and the coin goes up. And the toss has been won by Taylor Walker, and he will kick to the city end of the MCG, which is where their fans are primarily gathered and ready for action. Give us your best in the last 60 seconds, boys, including telling us who's going to win.
Every moment magnified, every mistake costs more than any other during the home and away season. Those that can execute cleanly and with composure early gain advantage. I think the side that's going to get to 12 or 13 first is going to win, and for me that's Adelaide.
I'm going to go for Adelaide just. If both teams play their best, Adelaide win, but it's going to be a great game. So Adelaide by 2 goals for me, Mick.
Well, I'm going for Richmond for one reason, is because their simplicity of their game structure, whereas Adelaide can be overuse it, and on a grand final, if you overuse it too early, the other side capitalise. So me, Richmond by 5 points.
Hutto, these two sides are going to meet each other for the first time in about 20 paces. You're going to see the obligatory push and shove, or just get on with the business. I hope someone does. Gets the blood going early.
Forward line, we've got Lynch, Jenkins, Walker and Cameron. Eddie Betts as well, so a magnificent forward line for Adelaide.
Yep, Lynch looks like he's pushing up maybe even onto the wing, so maybe a 4-man forward line for the Crows.
Talia straight to Jack Rewalt. We thought that always going to be the case. Hard to get down there. He's going to take Caddy, so there's that matchup.
So we're seconds away. It's been a thrilling year of football. 44 players about to experience this for the first time, and by the end of the day 22 of them will be AFL Premiership players. Adelaide versus Richmond, and Jacobs goes up and wins the tap down, and there's a free immediately, and it's going Richmond's way, and it goes to Cotchin, and he keeps it low, and he kicks too quickly and hastens straight to the man they wouldn't want to give some early confidence to. Laird, who marked it cleanly, kicks it out to the wing. A wrestle going on. Charlie Cameron got clear of Hooley, but not for long. Stripped of it, play on the call. Riley Knight grounds it to half forward. Walker, but the Tigers, and Alex Rance starts with a wonderful intercept mark at half back.
Cameron to Hooley, Grimes to Betts.
Rance won't go down the line. He's just going to ease it backwards. And Prestia has the football, and he goes to Grimes. Had to reach for it a bit, but takes the mark in the back pocket. Looks down the southern wing. Holds onto the ball for a while, and then launches with a kick. He kicks it to a contest, and a very good mark being taken by Caddy, who got the handball away to Hooley, and Hooley's kick was almost shut down, but Floss don't able to take it centre half back. As they start to roll, then Curvis comes up on the Toyota logo, takes the mark to Caddy, to Dustin Martin. The Brownlow medalist gets his hands on the footy, and he kicks it to centre half forward. Rioli, the X-Factor last week, from 49 goes for goal. Won't make the distance, still alive. It's in the forward pocket. Here's a chance for Townsend, who goes to ground. And then McIntosh as well, desperately trying to handball it out. And the umpire lets play go on and on. Ben blows his whistle. We'll have a ball up in the pocket.
Toronto match up. Looks like Townsend is on lever. So the half forward job doing the job on lever.
And Riley Knight has gone to Trent Cotchin in the middle of the ground.
Revolt forced to do the ruck work against Jacobs. There's a whistle for some interference, and that's not exactly what you don't want to do when you're a stand-in ruckman, give away a free kick. And it goes to Sam Jacobs, who controls it to Laird and then to Matt Crouch as they work the outer side of the ground. A hand pass back to Laird and then Matt Crouch, and they've got the defensive 50. And the kick onto the wing to the advantage of Atkins. He marks in front of McIntosh. Cameron calls for it in tight, but he ignores that at this early stage. No score after 2 minutes in the grand final, the opening quarter for Ashler Van Solutions, as Atkins decides to run on and just squirt a little handball out to McKay, and then further along the line to Laird, and his kick's going to land just inside the 50. It's a high ball, and Curvis positioned well. Got a fist to it. Here's Charlie Cameron. Made the run of the play, handball to Lynch, but it went straight through him. Then Curvis backs up, but it comes to Lynch, and he hits Jacobs on the chest. Umpire said it didn't go far enough, and it's kicked out of the air by Grigg. Back to the middle, Butler playing in front. Has he done enough to be paid the mark? No. It's scrounched back by Brown for Adelaide. And Taylor Walker had 3 Tigers to contend with. Fist went to McIntosh. He winds his way through centre half back, but a scrappy kick ends with McKay. The pressure's on here, and it's telling already.
Sloane, he goes to ground, wrapped up as well. The umpire will have it now, and it's 60 metres out from Adelaide's goal.
Laird's already had 4, and he's going 100% by foot.
Anyone with him, Smart?
Not at the moment. He's just trying to sag off the pack here at the minute.
I hope they don't play 12-metre kicks all day then. That's paid all day to Big Jacobs.
Lambert to Dustin Martin, a little don't argue, and then got the kick away. The ball bounces very awkwardly, works out to McIntosh, stolen by Laird. He was tackled, got the handball away. Douglas had a piece. In goes Cameron, and now Matt Crouch. Beautiful kick, and he's got Sloane. And Sloane takes the mark 45 metres out directly in front.
Butler's gone to Laird, but Butler ran forward and Laird read the play.
Laird involved in that passage again. He's had 5 already, Laird. I like the 2 kicks, the last couple of kicks that have gone inside. Just composure with the footy. Crouch went to Jacobs first. That's a mark all day long. They didn't pay it. And then again, didn't blaze away on his own, Rory Sloane.
Rory Sloane, a real heart and soul player of the Adelaide Football Club, 45 metres out. And there's your first goal. Rory Sloane gets the Crows on the board first. In the 2017 AFL Grand Final, they're a goal. Richmond are yet to score on the SEN Sites and Stores scoreboard. Custom digital marketing services for small business.
Big red alert. Laird's had 6 on Butler. He's going 100%. What do you do?
Well, one, either go to Butler or go to your most defensive forward and swing it around just for 5 minutes. Just settle, because you can't have the ball run out of your forward line when you've had it in there. What have we gone in there? It's only gone in Richmond's once, but it come out pretty quickly, and it's come out also from the outside the front 50.
Well, Laird goes back and sits himself right in front of Jack Reebok with no opponent at the moment, and it's not working.
Well, it's only early days though, but the last thing you need is a runner to be free on the back line.
Adelaide, the opening goal for Rory Sloane, and he gets straight into play. Jacobs got it to him perfectly. Another handball comes out towards Seedsman, the former Pie, in the Jenkins direction. He almost marked it. Ransted enough. Swooping is Charlie Cameron. Little left foot kick, try to connect with Ed! A fumble, a terrible fumble from Flostone allowed Eddie Betts in, and he's kicked the second goal, and it's taken 5 minutes, and the Crows have 2 on the board. This quarter for Ashler Van Solutions, the experts at fitting out your vans. Google Ashler Van Solutions. A fumble from Flostone, a costly one, and Adelaide have 2 goals, the Tigers nil.
Double-edged sword there. You're getting the most dangerous small forward in the game on the board early, and then it just puts doubt in the back of that defensive group.
There's an injury too. We talked about injuries early in the game. Right? It's an important one too. It's Cameron. He doesn't like his legs being... he relies on his pace, and he's really struggling at the moment.
He's hobbling, Nick. I'm keeping an eye on him.
Going to stay out there at the moment. Flostone, his opponent. Bad fumble, big moment.
First couple of goals for the Adelaide Crows. Dustin Martin in the guts. Little fumble. He went without it. And then he dives back in again, but it's going to be the Crows to get the little kick forward, and it's going to be brought back. A free kick going the way of Richmond, and it's going to be Dustin Martin to take it at centre half back.
They look slick inside that centre square, the Adelaide boys.
I reckon you've got to go now. You've got to go 6v6 just to get it to settle. No loose players. Don't let Adelaide have a loose player. Otherwise, you're asking for a runner to be free. So just nail it one-on-one.
Here's Trent Cotchin, takes the mark, the captain. He picks it up inside the 50. Revolts! It's been paid. It's been paid.
Great mark. A great mark.
It was a ripper.
You've got to seize moments, Matty. You're under the pump. You're 2 goals down. You've made a few blues. You come out and make a statement like that. I'm also looking at Laird and whether Prestia, he certainly was on that occasion, has gone forward and went to Adelaide. So Laird now coming off a spell.
Just quickly, Charlie Cameron coming off here, hobbling badly for Medibank.
I need a goal, Richmond. Jack Revolt loves the big moment. He was made for grand final day. Let's see what he can do. The spearhead, 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. Jack Revolt has missed to the left-hand side, and a minor score. It was a Glen Cameron group mark of the day. Another classic Camerons can do. Didn't kick the goal though. 1 point Richmond, 2 straight 12 Adelaide.
I'll tell you what Jacob Townsend did well. He made Lever compete. That's why Revolt went third man in.
It was a nervous kick, wasn't it, from Jack? Hardigan marks the kick in and kicks it a little too strongly for McKay, and it's been shepherded over the line by the Tigers. Jeez. So they can set up about 70 metres around from goal.
That's huge, Charlie Cameron.
Yeah.
He looked like, well, you can do whatever you can to get him back out on the deck, but to be one down now would be a disaster.
He looked like he didn't want to come off, didn't he? Like I'm not sure I'll be able to get back on. And then Curvis gets the tap, but it's scrounge around. Hugh Greenwood, the cleanest of hands, got it with a footy, sent it to half forward. Otten goes to ground against Rance, trying to nullify him, but Rance did the job. Off to Prester and then back to Sloane, and he's had a pretty ordinary start. That one bounces just inside the line. I thought it was going to go out on the full. They tripped the light, fantastic, as KB would say, keeping it in along that wing, but the Crows have got the answers. McKay gets it back to Hardigan. His eyes glance into the middle. He trusts his boot to go to Walker.
Shocker.
Good fist away from Asprey, and the Tigers were lined up. McIntosh to Butler, 60 metres out, was ready to launch, wasn't quite close enough. A handball to Edwards. They look nervous, the Tigers. A left foot kick from Nankervis into the square. Caddy's so close with a juggling marking attempt, but couldn't quite. Hardigan, an aggressive handball into the back pocket. Atkins just spins out of a tackle, got away from Graham, and that doesn't usually happen. Got it back to Hardigan, who scrounds the kick along the boundary line, and they get it over and out. And we'll have a throw in about 80 metres around from Richmond's goal. It's 2 straight 12 Adelaide. Richmond 1 behind on the SEN sites and stores scoreboard. Custom digital marketing services for small business.
Look, the Cameron injury, it was a tackle from Broad. Broad fell on the back of his leg.
Ball back into play. Tigers just have lifted their intensity. Edwards almost stripped of it, went back and got it. Got the handball out, Graham, and out Prestia. He's going to put it inside the 50, and Revolt's on the move again. It was a beauty right to his chest, and he'll go back and line up tight angle.
I like Revolt starting deep, and he's a little bit too quick for Talia at the moment. Talia's trailing in, needs to play in front.
Not a good matchup, because Talia needs a target. Now, who does he play on? Because Jack Revolt will continue now to lead, and he's not good at that. He likes to play centre half back. He likes to play just slightly off and get to him at the right time.
He missed the first one. This is a tougher angle from out on the southern side. Jack Revolt moving in again. Will kick from 49 metres. On its way, and that one is across the face as well and helped through in the end for a minor score.
Just quickly, guys, Charlie Cameron, a bit of strapping on the left ankle. He's been doing a few walkthroughs along the boundary. I reckon he might be okay.
If he's landed on his back in his leg, it may well be a little bit of syndesmosis. You never know. So a jab in that.
You talk about nerves. Revolt stabbed at his 2 shots at goal.
He has. Yeah.
Brown kicks in, clears the defensive arc. Revolt got a left glove to it, got it down to ground. Flostone back to Revolt. Third time lucky for Jack. It's a better kick, but it's just the wrong side of the post. There's a stab from 50. You can see the frustration building in Jack Revolt. And that's 3 behinds to the Tigers. Adelaide 2 straight 12. Richmond getting more of the footy though. They've locked it in their forward half.
They're having a great moment here, Richmond. Their repeat entries have been fantastic.
Ball back into play out to the members' side. Taken. Flick the handball over the top, Broad. And then Ellis. And then McIntosh. Back to Broad again, who just scrambles it onto his boot. Big Sauce Jacobs couldn't take it with a one hand. It gets away from Nankervis, throwing just outside the 50 for the Tigers.
Yeah, but they're starting to outnumber Adelaide around the footy, and a couple of times coming out of defence. I mean, the Hardigan kick into the centre corridor against Walker was a disaster. They were outnumbered 1 on 4. They're starting to get it around the ground as well, the Tigers.
Charlie Cameron back on.
Ball thrown back into play. And Curvis able to impact that. Coming up, Seasman couldn't take it cleanly. Dustin Martin tackled Graham. He got the handball. Lambert's handball being shut down. Matt Crouch and Seasman again as he looks to the members' side wing. And here he is back on the ground. Charlie Cameron takes the mark.
He does, and quickly gives to Lynch, who was floating by, an important component of this Adelaide side. The diving Otten was the man he hit, and only just. Takes it just, otherwise it could have been a half volley and it could have got a little awkward. Otten eases the kick to full forward. Tough for Taylor Walker, and Flostone at the back, utilising the Richmond numbers, drifting in and takes the mark.
Last 2 targets are Jenkins. They've kicked it over his head. He needs space. Kick the ball in front of Taylor Walker.
So the Crows lead by 9. Flostone, a strange old kick. It favours Jacobs, who comes in and takes an easy chest mark.
Yeah, very ordinary. Flostone really has he's got the fit of the nerves, I think.
Nice little short option into Matt Crouch. The kick just beyond him from here. He's 55 metres out.
Seedsman lurking.
Yeah, would favour his left foot. He tries to get something together into the pocket, and it does. Riley Knight, it came together nicely, and Tigers will be disappointed in that gas.
Crouch, red alert again. He's had 6 for Dodo. Laird's had 6. So they're key playmakers. More importantly, 100% by foot, those two lads.
And to no surprise, they've been doing it all year, Matty Crouch, without any effort going into it all. This is Cochin's man, Riley Knight. Just slid into a hole, Cochin let him go. Kicks this goal on the back of Jack Revolt's 3 points. It's a killer blow.
Just his 31st game of AFL footy. Riley Knight stands and, just a little skinny to the wrong side from about 35 metres out. He's missed. It's quarter for Ashler Van Solutions, the experts at fitting out your vans. Google Ashler Van Solutions. It's Adelaide 2-1-13. That's their first blemish. And Richmond 3 behinds. 13 minutes travel in this opening term.
Ball back into play. Flostone takes it. As Mick said, a couple of nervous moments so far for Flostone. Loads up and kicks it down the line. Down the members' wing he goes. It's going to be Grimes to take it. Uncontested in the finish.
Well done, Caddy. Just held his ground and made it uncontested, as you said, Matty.
So Grimes glances inboard. Not going to go there. Just opens it up a little bit and then kicks it straight to the wing and coming over the top. Talia couldn't complete the mark. And now it's still kicked off the ground that time by Crouch, Brad Crouch, and the umpire's going to come in and toss it back into play just outside the 50 for the Tigers.
Townsend's doing a great job on Lever thus far. You can just see in that marking situation, Lever trying to mark and intercept, and Townsend putting some strong body on him.
Greg v. Jenkins.
Brad Crouch yet to have a possession. Throw in 60 metres around from Richmond's goal. Hacked out of the air by Brad Crouch. Could go anywhere. There's Tigers swarming. Quick kick Hurley over Revolt's head, and Talia had the luxury of taking a chest mark, and that should be 50 really.
A couple of times they've gone forward indiscriminately, Richmond. The times they hit him up, they look dangerous.
Hardigan goes short. He was a recipient of the short pass, and Matt Crouch continues to just rack up the numbers.
Look who he kicked it to.
Goes all the way back to Laird. Same for him. And short around that half-back line.
So they're defending this deeper, Richmond. They're almost conceding one really deep defensively.
I don't think they'd be worried about the way the game's going, quite frankly. Their stats are around about the same, which they want to deny the ball to Adelaide.
Kelly kicks up to the wing, and here's the Richmond wall, which has been built successfully. Rance down to Flostone, back to Brandon Ellis. Just behind the wing on a packed southern side of the MCG. 100,000 people in to watch this big day. The Crows are 2-1-13. The Tigers 3 behind. The short pass to Rance. A high ball. Kelly tries to defend, which he does successfully on Castagna. The lunging Townsend at ground level. Can't get clear. Crowbon holding the ball. They're going to get that.
Dusty had gone forward. He'd gone to full forward. Hardigan picked him up.
Again, a look at Taylor Walker. He's pointing to his teammates. Put the ball to grass.
They've got to switch the footy here, Adelaide. Have to switch.
Yeah, they've got numbers
everywhere this side. Yeah.
He hasn't even looked yet.
Greenwood is the man that's got the football in hand. No, he's going to kick it down the line.
That's a sign to me that you're not prepared to take a bit of a risk early.
Taylor Walker, he contested in the air and knocked it down. Hurley, though, was better at ground level. He was able to get the handball away. Lambert executes with the kick. He kicks to centre half forward. All Crows. Talia with a big spoil. Then the tackle. Then Greenwood. The handball to Brad Crouch. To Matt Crouch, who got the handball. Laird couldn't get a handle on it. Dustin Martin goes in and wings it. And handballs over the top to Ellis. Ellis now kicks a high ball up inside the 50. Caddy will set himself. He was in the mix. No mark will leave a good spoil. Hitting the deck, it's going to be Matt Crouch again to receive from Knight, and he clears it. And a good mark has been taken by Lynch, left half back.
Who turns instantly and drives Adelaide to the wing. Taylor Walker didn't mark. He was climbed all over by Flostone. For a kick. Advantage paid. Indiscriminate. And now holding the ball against Atkins. What was he thinking?
He wasn't, Hutto.
Free kick goes to Lambert, who chips Richmond into the middle. Hurley looking to get onto his lefty. Handballs to big man Curvis and links up with Flostone. The entry is wide. It looks okay. Castagna trapped it nicely in the forward pocket. Runs around, a handball to Butler, who chiseled the ball into the pocket. Didn't blast away. I think maybe should have taken the shot, but he finds Caddy closer to goal, but in a tight spot. He's going to run around Caddy and kick Richmond's first goal. And look how excited he is about it. And the Tiger Army are up and about 2. It's taken 16 minutes, but they're on the board. And the SEN Sites and Stores scoreboard, custom digital marketing services for small business. It's Richmond 139, Adelaide 2-1-13.
Well, they are finding some space when they do go forward. As I said a couple of minutes earlier, they're outnumbering around the contest when it's a slow transition. When they go quick, Adelaide, they've been looking really dangerous, but when it's slower, I think the Tigers have got an advantage.
Well, on the Dodo stat sheet, Adelaide had 5 inside 50s to 1. Since then, Richmond have been in 9 times to 2. So you're spot on, Mick. Richmond are controlling the game, but they just need some scoreboard pressure now.
But that's okay though. That'll come when you control the football.
Martin full forward.
Margin to 4 now. Ball back in the middle. Cochin. He's going to get the centre clearance. High ball. Kelly. He spills the beans. Kelly. He goes back after it. He got the handball away, and Atkins is clearing. He goes out to the wing. Eddie Betts wants to get it out the back. Grimes played it really well and was able to win it. Handball to McIntosh. Up the outer side, Prestia. He kicks it to centre half forward. Oh, great Mark Weaver on the intercept. He's special.
Yeah, at his best. He slips the handball to Atkins as they build, and here's Laird. About to be tackled. Brilliant lunging tackle from Jack Reval.
Big win. Just starting to put some doubt in their mind here.
So Reval on that southern wing with the Tigers army roaring, waiting. And now planting the kick towards the 50. A fly from Castagna. Talia got a fist to it, got it to ground. Good back up from Greenwood, who started in promising fashion. This Laird, he is absolutely everywhere. A handball to Jake Kelly, who kicks from behind the wing to half forward. Jenkins against Rance, and Rance fisted away cleanly. Hungry Tigers ready to go, but Jake Kelly had followed up his work. Flicks the handball out to Brad Crouch, who guides to Jenkins, and now to Lynch. Good system from the Crows, not the best kick from Lynch. And the fist from Asprey was there. Got it to ground. Here's a patched up Charlie Cameron. Meets Grigg on the 50. Busy intersection there, taken by Asprey. Handball to Nankervis. He dropped it down in front.
Well done,
Cameron nagging away. Nankervis goes again, but there's a free kick and it's going to Grigg.
It was a great effort, Spud. Had 4 efforts. Charlie Cameron, but just held on a bit too long to Sean Grigg. And they look most dangerous, Adelaide, when they're composed and lower their eyes rather than just blast away. Tex Walker's not a great contested mark. That's playing into the hands of Richmond's defence.
Here's Grigg with the kick down the members' side wing. No, Mark, was there a shove there? There was. Free kick going to go the way of Caddy.
Yeah, Walker hasn't touched the ball yet, Gaz, but they've been to him 5 times, all too high.
Yeah, that plays right into Asprey or Ance's hands.
Crows by 4 points. As Caddy kicked the first goal for the Tigers, sends a high one to centre half forward. Hardigan set up, he couldn't take the mark.
Yeah, held it long enough, mate.
Had it long enough, the umpire has ruled.
They haven't switched it much lately, Adelaide. They're just continually bombing down the line to an outnumbered situation. They've lost their dare at the minute.
Hardigan just glanced into the corridor, but he's going to do the safe thing and go down the line again. Hoping the big Sauce Jacobs can impact that. Nankervis there with a spoiled Douglas though. At the drop handball, Matt Crouch couldn't take it. Lynch overruns it. Chance for Edwards, who got the handball to Bachahuli. Here go the Tigers now. Dustin Martin will go back into traffic and then gives the handball to Edwards. Kept it low. It was a poor kick. It was a real rubber inside the 50. Kelly couldn't take it. Here's Rioli. Came in too quick. They should be able to clear here, the Adelaide Crows. And Douglas, he couldn't quite take the mark. Goes to ground. Ellis has got him and gone.
Yeah, he slipped over, tried to fend off. Their tackling pressure is really lifting now, the Tigers.
It's stiff there.
Yeah, he fell over.
Quick kick from Ellis. He's chipped it high. Goes for Martin. He's in front, Dusty. Good spoil from Luke Brown. A hard man to get past, but it comes back to Martin somehow. Little left foot kick for Bachahuli. Bashed it off the left and kicked the goal. Tigers in front in a grand final. Bachahuli, it's set for him perfectly. Chisholm and Gaiman, goal of the day. Goal! And Richmond 2-3-15, Adelaide 2-1-13.
12 inside 50s for 3. The last 10 minutes goes Richmond's favour.
Yeah, and they're stopping them at the halfway mark. A couple of really big tackles that chased down Rory Laird. That one with Douglas a little bit unluckier. Lack of composure too, I reckon, from an Adelaide point of view. I don't know what the kicking efficiency is, Spud.
Yeah, Adelaide's still at 83%, but they were at 95. But Dustin Martin's starting to have an impact now. He's had 7 on the Dodo stat sheet, using the ball extremely well.
That'd be a great sigh of relief. They've settled beautifully, Richmond, after a nervous 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're looking good, the Tigers. Margin 2, they lead Richmond. And we're back in the middle. Jacobs able to win it down. Douglas goes without it. Go to the Tigers again. Cochin gets the handball and then kicks a high ball inside the 50. Taylor couldn't take the mark. Here's a chance for Rioli. Laird, though, wanted it more. He got there and got the handball to Brown. And Brown was almost shut down. He grabbed the kick. Matt Crouch goes in, retrieves the situation. Back to Sloane. Good work by Cochin. He's confronted by Seagsman. Cochin still got the kick away. Graham wrapped up in the tackle. He threw that out. And a free kick going to the Crows at left half back.
More energy, I reckon.
Yeah.
Richmond have had more energy. Come look at a couple of those Adelaide boys. They're a bit flat-footed. Here's a switch. This is what they weren't doing, or haven't done all day.
Lever reluctant to give to Jake Kelly as he bounds across the back pocket, brings it to the members' side with 2 bounces, releases the kick, not perfect through the air. Hooley just slipped through, got to Walker. This can open up possibilities. Kicks it to Otney, marks out in front of the logo. Delicate little short pass, brings it into the middle. Riley Knight can launch. High ball to full forward. Jenkins well placed, bets if it hits the ground. It never did because Nan Curvis marked it.
Free kick to Rand, shepherding off the ball against Jenkins, Hutto.
No, I think it was actually Eddie Betts.
Against Betts.
So it goes short. Finds Prester in the back pocket and then to Hooley. Oh, hang on, he hasn't marked this. It's foiled by Walker on the point of the 50 in the boundary, and his kick is smothered out of bounds.
He tried to kick a banana from 48 in the boundary then, Tex. That's not the way they play.
And they had 2 blokes inside on 45 and 50 free. Both of them were free.
That means they're getting a bit, it looks like they're getting a bit anxious.
They're rushing a bit, aren't they?
Richmond by 2 this quarter for Ashler Van Solutions. The experts at fitting out your vans. Google Ashler Van Solutions. Throw in. 35 metres around from Adelaide's goal. It bounces up for young Graham, who gets a clearing kick for Richmond. Back to the wing, a push and a shove, and the mark is taken and kicks deep into attack by Lever, and a bounce of the ball not going the way of Jenkins. We'll have a throw in the forward pocket. We've got 2 minutes 40 remaining on the air conditioning warehouse sales clock. Get Melbourne's best air conditioning prices at air conditioning warehouse sales.
Even that kick that went in there, that's un-Adelaide-like. It was just belted in to hope that one of the tools can mark it.
Throw in, Jacobs wins it down. Sloane came flying through, could take a little kick out to Basher Hooley, was good by Grigg, and he takes the mark. So he's got it in the back pocket, going to switch the play, and Asprey just going to sit up for him here on the bounce. A little bit of a nervous moment, but he's able to take it now. Hard up against the line, he puts it. That's the question here. The umpire will say.
Yeah. The non-controlling umpires come in and said it's deliberate.
Well, it had to be. It went end and over end, so it had to be. If he had kicked it in the air, he was a chance because he kicked it end over end.
Well, he had opportunities to use the ball better than that. So that's well, it's happened.
So Douglas, he bangs it into the forward pocket. No mark. Sloane doing the roving work. He kicks another goal. Rory Sloane kicks another one front and centre. Rory Sloane said thank you, and he kicks the goal for Adelaide as we check the Sites and Stores scoreboard. Custom digital marketing services for small business. They go to 3-1-19. They retake the lead. Richmond 2-3-15.
Well, Mick, that's where you want to kick long. To the top of the square, puts in defence under pressure. But Richmond have had a real win because Taylor Walker and Jenkins haven't marked the ball yet, and they've been really good. But that's where you want to kick the ball long.
Yeah, but you can kick it there. The reason it worked was because Jacobs was the one contesting.
That's it.
It wasn't Walker or Jenkins.
They haven't taken a mark yet.
Richmond really disappointed with that though, because they had so many numbers down there, but they weren't distributed right. They're all cluttered. They're all in a cluster. You've got to spread.
Last 2 minutes of the first quarter. Jacobs controlling the ruck, got the tap to Sloane. A handball to Greenwood, he's been okay. Rush kick out towards Broad, who slapped it away, didn't try and take the mark. Fell to Seedsman. A little don't argue, nothing like Dusty. He's got it up to Douglas. High ball to full forward, puts the Richmond defence on edge. Ransall, he fumbled it beautifully through for a behind. And Adelaide go to 3-2-20. Richmond 2-3-15. 25 minutes gone. Some Dodo stats. Give big internet bills the bird call 1-3 Dodo.
Yeah, Crouch has had 10, Hutto Laird 9, Atkins 7 for Richmond, Martin, Vlosten, Hooley 7 apiece.
1:46 left on the clock this opening quarter. Basher Hooley with footy in hand from fullback, plays on, takes a bounce and then kicks it out to the members' side. Now Curvis the target there, the big ruckman. Jacobs the big spoil. Taken by Brad Crouch to Greenwood, who bangs it inside the 50. Eddie Betts got a couple to beat. Flostone, good mark, reaching and taking the mark. Oh, he played on and gone.
It might have been off the hands.
So touched. He was lucky at Flostone, and we're going to have a ball up top of the goal square for the Adelaide Crows.
Yeah, but he steadied really well, Floston, after the first 5 minutes. He's been really solid. Touched off the boot. You see the Chemist Warehouse screen.
Yeah, ball up top of the square.
It's a good decision by the umpires. Didn't panic.
Now Curvis tapped it straight to Greenwood, and Greenwood's kicked the goal. That's a disaster for the Tigers.
Well, they're getting into Ned Curvis too. Jacob's starting to have a bit of a say in this match.
Well, he read it beautifully, and the basketballer turned AFL footballer Hugh Greenwood has given Adelaide an 11-point advantage, and we'll call that a Tisman game and goal of the day.
Wherever you go, say hello.
Well, Mick, you call that beautifully. the distribution of numbers.
Yeah.
Again, that was a clearance. You had to be arm on arm.
Well, that's right. Well, not only arm on arm, you spread yourself around a stoppage like that, because or a high ball like that, because when that might happen, you have a look. Adelaide have two players in front. If you don't distribute yourself around and you just have a cluster, you only hope that the ball falls in the cluster. And that's two occasions where Richmond have been done over by technique.
12 or 13 goals is going to win it. They've got 4 on the board already.
Adelaide with the last 2. We're back in the middle. Good work. That time Greenwood again able to shut down the handball. Edwards goes back in, tries to win it. He got the handball out. Grigg just hurries it onto the boot, and they got it covered. Mark taken. Brown across half back, and then they're easing it out to the wing, and the mark has been taken here by Atkins and just slows things down.
Minute on the clock.
He's been terrific as well. Atkins, Crouch, Laird, all using the ball at 100% by foot for Dodo.
So Atkins with a high one. Goes to half forward. Bad! Oh, he flew. He didn't quite bring it down. He had a good crack at it though, Eddie Betts. He jumped. He saw his name on it. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. And it's 70 metres out from Adelaide's goal.
Tell you, Hugh Greenwood, I don't know what price he would have been for an Norm Smith medal, but
his hands have been good, Hutto.
He's right up there at the moment. 7 opening quarters disposals. This man,
great tackle.
Justin Martin, they brought him to ground. He's got a handball away to Nankervis and off to Prestia. Kick onto the wing, spoiled from Townsend. Lambert's got a little path. He kicked it out of the air, up and down on the spot. Caddy knocked it further inside the 50 to really ramp up the pressure. Hardigan had to be clean below his knees, and he was. A handball sends Douglas on his way. Kicks it out to the wing. Broad versus Cameron. Cameron will get there first, but Broad wore him really well. Stands up Broad and wears the tackle and gets it over the line and out of bounds.
Good footy.
Call it a draw, and we'll have a throw in on that outer wing.
Brilliant contest that.
10 seconds remaining after a tense opening term. Adelaide kicked the first 2 goals, Richmond the next 2, and the Crows the last 2 to take an 11-point advantage. From the throw-in, a lovely tap from Jacobs to Sloane, who's kicked a couple of goals, a fumble this time. Allows Grigg to hand it off to Prestia. Is there time late? Long kick, Townsend. No, there's not. Siren sounds.
There's a shot on goal.
Okay, so a shot from
55 on the boundary line.
Don't give a 50 away. They're scrimmaging a bit there. Townsend's got the ball.
Adelaide just realising there's going to be a shot, so they're going to get numbers back in the goal scorer. But this would be almost...
Give us some quick thoughts, Gaz, while we've...
It went in 3 phases. First 5 minutes was Adelaide. I thought Richmond really settled, and then some clearance work, some Jacobs influence, some front drop of the ball, crumb and clearance stuff got them back in front.
So Townsend has to shift a bit of the outdoor furniture where the photographers have been sitting on. He's up against the fence. He's got to kick it 55 metres.
He kicks this, they win, Hutto.
Well, he thought he was going to have to go and pick up his tray. He kicked it in the man on the mark. If he kicked that goal, it would have been one of the great grand final goals. Now the fight starts between he and Lever, who got into him straight away. They are opponents today, and the others come to show support. But it is quarter time, and Hardigan gets, and Lever gets into Caddy. It's getting a bit vocal, certainly vocal in the crowd. We're going to come back and see who's in the running for the SEN Tyre Power Player of the Grand Final. Right now, and exclusively at Tyre Power, buy 3 and get 1 free at a huge range of Toyo passenger and SUV tyres. Quarter time with thanks to Toyota's Good for Footy program, supporting local clubs around Australia. Subway, the new slow cooked rosemary and garlic sub only at Subway. X-Drive your dreams with $10,000 cash. Enter now at xdrive.com.au, and Energy Australia light the way. It's Adelaide 4-2-26 leading Richmond 2-3-15. Quarter time in the 2017 AFL Grand Final. Adelaide 4-2-26 lead Richmond 2-3-15. Let's get some thoughts from our experts for Gin Hang quality LED lighting. You can Gin Hang your hat on, and then we'll get down to Rowan with his thoughts from ground level.
Well, both sides had moments, Mick and Spud. Early on in the piece, Adelaide were able to make the most of their inside 50s. A couple of bad mistakes from particularly Floston. He settled, as Spud said, but Jack Revolt had an opportunity for us to sit here at 3/4 time, Mick, and think that it was 10 points the other way. So it's about taking those opportunities.
Oh, it certainly is. The thing is, as a coach looking at the game, we got Jenkins, Betts, Walker haven't had a lot of the football. In fact, they had very little. But it's very difficult. 2 of those players are non-pressure players, and they're loading up their back line and wings, Adelaide. So therefore, really, if the ball goes in there, it's gone in there around about 50-50. Then they haven't got a chance to defend it. I think at some stage, I know they're nearly 2 goals in front of Adelaide, but unless they square up the numbers, that ball's going to just continually be run out. So Don Pikes either throws it in and says, OK, let's go one-on-one. In fact, now he's loaded up his back line again with extra 2.
Margin 11 will get the row in a moment. field from ground level, and then Curvis able to get the first palm down. Lynch comes in. He couldn't take the football. Cochin at the bottom of the pack, and the umpire's going to come in and ball up. Down to you, Rowan.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Just Charlie Cameron knocked to that left ankle, had it strapped up, was back on the ground pretty quickly. Looks to be okay. Just starting to rain here. I think the conditions might become a factor, and Richmond more than matching the Crows in the contest.
Ball up in the middle. Taken by Jacobs. Got the handball out. Oh, barging through that time was Jacobs with a bit of aggression. Hold over a couple. There's a high contact. Edwards gave it away for a kick going to the Crows.
Cochin looks like he's going to take responsibility for Sloane.
It'll be taken by Jake Kelly, who's got it half back. Looks up. He's going to go out to the wing. Just adjusted the kick at the last moment. Handball then Curvis at ground level, and the umpire will come in and ball it up again out there on the southern wing.
Greenwood started on the bench, and when he came on, he spends a lot of time on Martin. So again, he's starting on the bench. I think it's a really good move from Pike, keeping a fresh man ready for Martin.
Oh, absolutely, and also body shape. He's big enough to do the job.
He linked up well with Sloane. Jacobs that time. A quick handball to Seedsman. High ball underneath it, Cameron. With the greasy conditions, hard to mark it even at the second attempt. And Ellis did enough with Asprey to get it out of bounds. 40 metres around from Adelaide's goal.
Goes the Dodo stat. Richmond only had one tackle inside their forward 50.
Yeah, that has been their stock trade, hasn't it? So they've got to try. I mean, look at the numbers now. Everyone's up the ground. They've got to get some repeat entries in there and try and lock it in, Spud.
Adelaide lead by 11. Jacobs got the tap. Came to Eddie Betts. He's got the left foot kick to this one. It's just the wrong side of the post as he snapped it across his body. And Adelaide crept to 4-3-27 against Richmond's 2-3-15. 2 minutes gone. Second quarter for Identified by Asbestos and Hazardous Materials Risk Management Services.
Lostone, long kick in, no mark. Ball hits the deck. Atkins spun around, got the handball to McKay, who just hooks it back around his shoulder, and Sloane in the right spot. Takes the mark just outside the 50 for the Crows. Shuffles back over it, then goes short. He's got Lynch, who takes the mark and got some contact as well after he took it.
That was close to 50, wasn't it?
Cochin just 15 metres off Sloane then.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about being tagged like that. You either tag him back or you cop it. And Sloane's too good to be.
Well, you can't play 50-50 footy there, Mick. Adelaide have got the ball and he's playing off him. Yeah. He's got to tighten up.
He's a captain too.
Sloane has had more score involvements than anyone else on the ground. He's had 5 score involvements now for Dodo.
Here's Tom Lynch, the great connector, and he's kicking from 45 metres and missing way to the left-hand side and through for a point. On the SEN Makita scoreboard, the cordless Power Garden range, the reliable workhorse. 4-4-28 Adelaide, 2-3-15 the Tigers.
Quite a gloomy looking shot from above on our Chemist Warehouse monitor as the Tigers threw Alice to himself, and then a driving kick to half back. Big leap from Caddy, but to no avail. Standing tallest was Jacobs. Quickly got a lightning handball to Douglas. Tried to kick to the leading Walker. Spills at centre half back. Tigers clamouring after it. Little tap from Townsend. A fumble went the way of Prestia. Took the territory on offer. Now the race between Talia. Didn't get the accommodating bounce. Shadowing him as rewilded. Now Dustin Martin picked it up. Got the handball out to Edwards. He's usually dynamic with the footy, and Revolt run on and provided a target about 40 metres out from goal on a tight spot.
Oh, that was terrible from Talia. He fumbled the ball. I know it's a little bit greasy out there, but then he just stopped. Revolt kept running and got the secondary possession.
But he's not good at recovering the ball. So he's better off being the loose player if there's going to be a loose player.
Well, high and working back is the most vulnerable position for this Adelaide defence, and with these conditions, get them up high, run them back.
Kicked just 2 goals in the finals this season. 3 behinds already today. Runs around to make the goals more accessible. Has he got enough on the kick? It's straight. I reckon it might have crept over the line.
No one on the line.
Unbelievably, there was no one on the line.
Unforgivable.
Unforgivable. What was Jacobs doing?
Score review.
Look the goal to the naked eye.
Call is a goal.
It's a goal.
Please check that it wasn't touched before going over.
Let's have a look here. Jake Kelly. I think it's a goal, eh? I reckon it's a goal. I reckon there's a millimetre between the ball and the line.
That's inexcusable from the defenders. It's gone a metre off the ground.
Jack will be happy because that would have been his 4th point.
Don Pike would be going punter in the box.
I tell you what, though, the best wet weather team in the competition, Richmond.
Confirmed goal. Jack Revolt's first. His 4th shot at goal was completely unconvincing, but somehow it's gone through. And Richmond 3-3-21. Adelaide 4-4-28. As Mick said, welcome rain for Tiger fans.
Yeah, well, it's fascinating, isn't it? Because we hadn't really factored this in. And I don't know what the radar's telling us, but I'm not sure it's going to be super heavy. But just right now, it's going to suit the Tigers.
How heavy is it rolling down there?
It's starting to get a bit heavier, guys. Looks like it might sit in for at least the next 5 minutes.
Crows by 7 after that, 4-4-28. Richmond 3-3-21. So back to the middle we go as the umpire tossed it up in the air. And Curvis wins it down, and Cochin got the quick kick forward. Atkins couldn't take the mark, and then Rioli, he was spun around, and some high contact on Townsend. So he'll take the free for the Tigers. He's inside the centre square and half forward.
It's Rioli's ball, Matty.
So Rioli will take it. Would have been the first one the umpire called. So just directing a bit of traffic. Rioli going to load up. He puts it up inside the 50, and a good mark doubling back. That was Jake Kelly.
Terrific mark.
Well, they can't. That's a bad result. I mean, they need that ball to ground where they can get their small blokes to keep pressure up, get repeat entries. That's a bad effort.
So Kelly now trying to clear it out. Comes to the members' side. Up there was Taylor Walker, couldn't take it. Taken by Lambert, who puts it back inside the 50. Hard against Steadfast, though, takes the mark.
Got to look for the switch here, Adelaide.
Well, you wonder whether these conditions, Spud, just they go back conservative again. They look most dangerous when they take it on, the Crows.
Goes short to right, Knight, who takes the mark at half back, the chest mark off to Atkins, and then to Lynch. Atkins kept on coming, got a little handball, but Sloane, they got into congestion. Sloane a bit sore too as the ball ricochets away. Matt Crouch getting some heavy attention from Lambert. Lambert wins the footy on his own merits, gave it straight away. Now Jacobs gets a good handball to Sloane. It was swift, and the kick, but this is Rance, as courageous as ever, back with the flight. There wasn't anyone coming, but he wasn't to know, and he takes the mark. As sturdy as you like, and goes short to Brandon Ellis. It's 4-4-28 Adelaide, 3-3-21 Richmond. This quarter for Identifier, Asbestos and Hazardous Materials Risk Management Service.
Short to Graham, then back to Ellis by hand. He kicks the centre half forward, thumped away, races on to get there. Vic Jacobs slaps it towards the boundary line, and let's see what the umpire says. Deliberate. Free kick Tigers.
Good call. No one on the mark. He can play on it.
That's Greg with footy in hand. As he puts it inside the 50, it's a deep kick, it's a high ball. Talia there with a big spoil. Coming through, Douglas, he's been tackled aggressively by Ellis, and the umpire will have it just inside the 50. It is 4-4-28 Adelaide, 3-3-21 the Tigers.
Alex Rance loves this as well because it becomes less precise and it's a bit more bang on, boot on ball, and that's where he reads it so beautifully. Walker has got responsibility for him at the minute.
Jacobs the tap on the 50. Dustin Martin took it. His kick was half smothered. It slides all the way to the top of the goal square. Revolt a handball in hope. Set it out in front of Rioli. Atkins there to be the nuisance. Rioli tracked it and slapped it back Wayne Harm style. Yeah. Top of the square though was Laird in the right place. A handball off to Seedsman, a driving kick. As long and as strong as he could. It bounces up for Ashford. Oh. Cameron was coming. He was stalking. His bounce didn't work out. But Riley Knight's got out the back, and he should take this on the bounce, and no, he fumbled, and the Tigers have been able to save the day, and it's Alex Rance. Who else?
I think it was a bad bounce, Hutto.
Yeah,
until I see the Chemist Warehouse replay screen, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Not giving Asprey the benefit of the doubt though.
Well, SEN Makita scoreboard, the cordless Power Garden range, the reliable workhorse, 4-5-29, plays 3-3-21.
Cameron wins it back at half forward, just chips it in short. The mark has been taken 49 metres out by Knight.
That's a better kick. When they dart him in, they look dangerous, Adelaide.
And he's going to go wider to the skipper. Big Tex Walker takes the mark, but he's deep in the pocket on a tough angle.
Already Lynch and Walker have taken a mark inside their forward 50, so, okay, it's a little bit slippery, but when they're getting forward to the centre now, they're lowering their eyes, as you talked about early, Gaz.
Wouldn't you like to see Betts come up the ground for one or two little cameos through the middle, because he's right out of the game at the moment, and he's such a good touch player. Get him in the game by bringing him up the ground.
Tex Walker hasn't had much influence so far. The skipper comes in, kicks a goal. That's way across the face, and it won't score. Play on will be the call. Jenkins trying to knock it down, and Broad try to scramble a kick out, and they rush it through in the finish, and through for a minor score on the SEN Makita scoreboard. The cordless Power Garden range, the reliable workhorse. The margin 9 in favour of Adelaide.
Gee, there's been some nerves out there, hasn't there?
Nervous kicking, had right from the first Trent Cotchin kick of the match where he shanked it.
I was at Riley Knight's face when he marked that before. He looked startled even though he had the kick. He kicks it long out of there, but Sloane well positioned and takes the mark.
This is his 5th disposal this quarter for Dodo. He's on fire.
Sloane's kicked 2 in the first quarter. Lands it in Jenkins' area. Grimes got him under the footy legally, and Rance was there to take the mark.
Rory Sloane need to know that's not they want. That was 2 on 3 on 1. They're not strong overhead anyway. It's lower your eyes.
And Rance bangs it back out to the southern wing. They gather the fist away from Lever. Out for Seedsman, boundary line, staring him in the face, and he's happy to concede and get it over with a 9-point advantage Adelaide's way.
Yeah, it goes, all right, it's Taylor Walker now, but when that ball goes up, they've got to think defence. You think of the Western Bulldogs last year in the grand final. Grundy and Rampy dominated, and then the Bulldogs brought the ball to the ground. They've got to do that against Rance.
Yeah, but Betts and Cameron are playing too far away from that ball.
Jacobs in a mismatch, got the tap, he went against Greg. Edwards hacked it out of the air and it goes sliding across the ground. They'll call for deliberate, but the umpire says no. Going to throw that in.
Looked at that kick. Just took that pace forward.
Now all the numbers are back, so it's a huge let-off for Adelaide.
Collective groan around the MCG. Boundary umpire throws it in. 9 points is the Adelaide lead. Richmond in attack. Jacobs let the ruck on his own. Got the tap down, but Crouch couldn't get it clear. Edwards is becoming a bit of a menace. Clever handball to Caddy. Driving kick to the square. Revolt's read this well. Talia there to match him. Got a fist to it as it went over both players' head and through for a behind. SEN Air Conditioning Warehouse Sales clock. Get Melbourne's best air conditioning prices at Air Conditioning Warehouse Sales. 11 minutes to go still in this second quarter. 4-6-30 plays 3-4-22 in Adelaide's favour.
Well, there's Jacobs dominating the ruck, and he put that ball down to a 50-50. He had an opportunity to strike that probably 15-20 metres forward for Adelaide.
Webb kicks it out to the wing. Charlie Cameron got there, almost run down. He got a kick away. Premier Asprey was able just to engage that time with Walker, get the handball out. Lambert close to the boundary line, kept it alive. He did well and got some valuable meterage. And the footy is out. We're going to have a throw in between the wing and half forward for the Tigers on the southern side.
Nick, they need something out of Jenkins. I know the conditions don't suit, but he hasn't looked like at the moment.
Jenkins, Walker, Ottens had no impact.
Nothing.
Well, I see Jenkins as a player that mops up the cream. The dirty work done early, he's very rarely part of it.
Boundary throw in. Jenkins, big Jacobs again down to Brad and then Matt Crouch. And now here's Jenkins leading up the ground, and Rance did enough again to worry him and forced the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Rain has now stopped, guys, but definitely still pretty greasy at ground level.
Adelaide's lead is 8. Midpoint of the second term for Identifiver. Asbestos and Hazardous Materials Risk Management Services. Jacobs wins the tap again, down to Sloane, to half forward, a wobbler. McIntosh gathers into the middle. Hooley's made himself dangerous, takes it in the centre, held momentarily by Talia, but he keeps on going that angle, puts it out for Prestia versus Laird. Laird wins the first battle and the second, and comes away with footy in hand, gets it across to Lynch. His kicker smothered though by a desperate Broad. Hooley made himself a target, but he got a handball away, clever to Rioli. And now Dustin Martin, one more to McIntosh. From the wing, the left foot kick. Revolt's read this well. At the back, Hardigan there, and the numbers are converging on the footy. And it slides over the boundary line and out of bounds with the SEN Makita scoreboard. The cordless Power Garden range, the reliable workhorse. 4-6-30 playing 3-4-22.
Don Pope's made a change. He's put Hardigan on the Rewald. I don't mind that because he was turning Talia far too much, and Talia's going up the ground on Caddy.
And Hurley's the one that's starting to get off the hook a bit.
Ball back into play. Matt Crouch able to scramble a kick forward. Ellis has taken it on the bounce and gets it onto the boot. It's going to sail just pitched. Luckily for Richmond, we're going to have another boundary throw in the pocket.
It's a great result. This is where they want the footy, Richmond. This is where they've got to go to work. Some of these small blokes, Rioli hadn't had a great impact. He's got to start to get body on body.
I think that's great coaching, Mick, from Pike, just to identify the
it's taken a long time though. It's still midway through the second quarter. It need to be done probably earlier.
Jacobs guides it down to Brad Crouch. Trying to link up with his brother, missed him now in the handball, and Townsend just made sure he was going to wear one over the boundary line. Footy went with him. We're going to have a boundary thrown out, a little bit of push and shove. 50 metres around from Richmond's goal.
Well, they've dominated inside 50s again, Richmond, the last 5 minutes. So the last 4 repeat entries, 9-6 in the inside 50 stats for Dodo this quarter.
And here's Jacobs again to continue this rucking exhibition. He tapped it down, but it went straight to his opponent, Greg. And his handball went to McKay, back to the wing. Lynch was courageous, flew. Cameron, back to Lynch.
Dived and took Charlie Cameron's legs, Hutto, so he get a free kick.
And Jacobs takes the advantage, kicks to half forward. Rance is claiming the mark against Dalton. Not paid, but he got a handball, slipped it to Grimes. Half blew a tyre as he kicked it, but it went sliding across the ground and effectively to McIntosh. And then to Edwards. He was going to give to Martin or to Ellis. Turns around instead, drives it long to full forward. Oh, there could have been some holding on Townsend. The umpire spotted it, I reckon.
Well, it was silly if there was, because it was a 2-on-1, Hutto.
Free kick to Townsend. He grabbed some jumper.
No doubt it was there. Then a backhanded grab.
Yeah, he had, and Lee was getting frustrated with the work Townsend's putting onto him.
You've got to convert. They've got to get some value here because they have had a fantastic 5 or 10 minutes. And it's coincided with the period of Nankervis off the ground and Jacobs dominating the ruck. So if they can score against that flow, then that is a double win.
21 hit-outs to 9 at the moment, Jacobs versus Nankervis.
But the clearances aren't telling that.
Even.
Yeah.
Just some ground level, guys. Just looks like Richmond's playing the smarter, more percentage footy. Crows just keep going for one little handball too many.
He's kicked 14 goals from 28 kicks in 4 games. Jacob Townsend, he's kicked this sweetly. It's a beautiful kick, and the story just gets better of Jacob Townsend. What a goal, what a moment, 2 points the difference. 18 minutes into the second quarter. 4-6-30 Adelaide, Richmond 4-4-28. He kicked it from 45 metres on a 45-degree angle.
Well, they've been inside 50 26 times to 20. So that gives you some sort of an indication of where they're at. It's a low-scoring encounter, which plays into their hands to some degree. Adelaide looked like having kicked 4 first-quarter goals at that 13-14 goal target was going to be gettable, but they've just dried them up.
And there's Betts coming up on the wing, which is that's a good move. That's the one I said before. Hopefully he's actually playing high. He could well be a forward because he might be the 5th forward, but he's got to stay up around the ground because at the moment he's just getting swamped.
Crows by 2. Jenkins takes his turn in the ruck and wins it 2. Prestia handball straight to Greenwood, who got it onto the boot, and good mark taken by Basher Hurley.
He's been sensational, Matty. Basher Hurley. He's held him up. He's winning footy. You want the ball in his hands.
He's a loose player. He just plays in front of Walker where the ball's going.
Read that really well. And he kicks it to the outer side wing. Who's going to launch at that? No one can take it. Ball hits the deck. Running after it, Lever. He's confronted. He was able to get rid of his oncoming tackler. Matt Crouch, Brad Crouch, they combine together. Jenkins has been bowled over and got high contact.
Oh, they're up in the ante a bit, the Tigers. They're going at him. I like it.
Yeah, they are.
I like it.
They're really putting some pressure on the body now, so...
Delicate little pass from Jenkins to Laird. They're travelling the long way home.
Hutto, you can't allow Otten, Walker and Jenkins not to have an impact.
Can I just say, they're getting trapped on the MCG difference on the ground compared to what football Adelaide Oval is.
Taylor Walker, it's a good point, Mick. He gets a handball forward. Rance is trapped, brilliant tackle, holding the ball.
It's Eddie Betts.
Eddie Betts, and you better be careful, Andy Otten. Rance is just playing up, trying to get the free kick reversed.
Really good tackle, but Brad Crouch, he's going for the hands too much.
Yeah, he's struggling actually with his disposal. Quick kick to the square. Jenkins, and from the side, Cameron. Underneath all of that Broad, he's stripped of the footy in a fierce tackle. Jenkins can't have an impact on this game. Caddy wraps him up. Broad help, team tackling right down in front of the Tiger Army at that punt road end.
Yeah, well, with Brad Crouch, he's had 5 handballs this quarter and 3 ineffective of them. So he needs to use his legs a little bit when he gets the hands. He's winning the hard ball.
Jenkins versus Nankervis. Nankervis with a left-hand slap down. Went to Atkins. Flying shot at goal across the face. It might have hit the base. Yes, it did, of the behind post. So it'll be out on the full this quarter for identifiable asbestos and hazardous material risk management services. It's 4-6-30 Adelaide playing 4-4-28 Richmond. 7 minutes to go in this second term.
Real arm wrestle at the moment. Sloane has got the football in the back pocket. Sends a real high one to a contest. Walker is there and floating in was Otten, couldn't complete the mark. McIntosh and Sloane. Sloane wanted to get there more and he just dragged it in. Sloane, he could be in some strife. He knocked it out in the nick of time. Trying to get rid of it. Taylor Walker in there. Dustin Martin emerges with the share and guess who? He takes it and then kicks to the wing. Up comes Revolt, spills the beans. He was under enormous pressure. Rory Laird got the handball backwards, then got held. And will take the free kick at half back for Adelaide.
It's hard at the contest at the moment, I think, the Richmond boys.
I think McIntosh has done a really good job on Sloane. He hasn't touched it since McIntosh has gone onto him.
Short pass to Otten, who makes himself valuable, and he goes short to Tom Lynch. So these are the plays they've got to get into the game. Lynch with the dab pass to Sloane. He's just clear. They've worked it to half forward. Still a long way from home. No obvious target. He kicks to Taylor Walker. That'll suit the big man, and then Curvis. It's a mark paid, it is.
I know, it's again a long, slow, high ball. They can win it out there all they want, I reckon. Damien Harford saying, I don't care if they win it out there. It's when it comes in here, the most critical part of the ground, that Walker's had no influence, Otten's had no influence, and Jenkins been invisible.
Big Neck the Tank kicks it back to the wing. It's punched away.
It's over the shoulder.
Free kick to Townsend. And he's got it on that outer wing. He shares it with Hurley by hand, who can drift along the southern wing and drive it deep. Castagna not in the best position, but he came late to the footy, spoiled it and did his own roving. And then Talia and Revolt crash into each other and stumble over the boundary line and out of bounds. 55 metres around from goal. Adelaide 4-6-30. Richmond attacking though, and they're 4-4-28. They have the momentum.
So ball to be thrown back into play just outside the 50 for the Tigers. Umpire hurls it back in. And Curvis knocks it down. Ground level, Douglas tried to trap it. Matt Crouch, his handball didn't hit the target. And there is Cotchin. Somehow he was able to fashion a kick to the forward pocket. Luol trying to just clip it back with his heel. Comes to Rory Laird, instant congestion out towards the boundary line, and Cotchin with some big pressure and some big tackling, making sure it's out. We're going to have a throw in just inside the 50 for the Tigers.
He needs to make a statement, Trent. He hasn't had a good first half of footy, hasn't had a lot of the footy. Sloane took him to the cleaners for 5 minutes. They had to make that switch.
Brad Crouch again, another ineffective handball.
Yeah, he's struggling with the ball, isn't he?
He's got to use his legs, Hutto. Get the coach out. Run with the ball.
Jenkins the tap. They're just inside the 50. It came to Graham. Now Matt Crouch, who's been better. And now Martin trying to find the ball, but it's all just too tight, too much congestion. And they batter it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Dodo stats give big internet bills the bird. Call 13 Dodo for this second term. We'll give you some of those in a moment.
Have a look at the clearance, though. They're more on the outside, Adelaide. I just reckon that Richmond have worked their way on the inside of the contest here.
From the throat. Now Curvis grabbed it and kicked it instantly to full forward.
Free kick to Jenkins.
Okay.
He's through to the ground.
Adelaide have played a lot of their game too deep on the wing.
Little handball off to Matt Crouch.
They go again.
Who kicks to the wing, and Hurley with the intercept mark. Came off hand, so the mark not paid, and we'll have a throw.
Yeah, I mean, their form against Geelong was coming. They swing it off half back, coming through the middle. It was Laird taking that dangerous kick up through the middle.
But that's that 40 metres on the across the ground.
Just getting lost.
They're getting lost out there.
Yep.
And because they're not using the ball by boot, that they're not making any ground up.
Ball thrown back into play. Now Curvis goes chasing after it again. Matt Crouch flicked it up to Douglas, who kicked it straight in the dust of Martin, who's trying to take it. Edwards, his handball shut down. Big Dan Curvis's kick was smothered, deflected over the boundary line, and another boundary throw in.
If I can just add on to that, one of the best players that's played from all year is Douglas. He's not overly quick. On that Adelaide ground, he just finds space through the corridor. He cannot get any ball at all out wide because the ball moves so quickly.
Well, he's only had 2 disposals, 2 kicks this quarter, both ineffective, Nick.
Yeah.
Margin 2 in favour of Adelaide. Ball thrown back into play. Comes to Edwards, who hurries it up inside the 50. How's he going to drop? Talia could have spoiled in. Hardigan was able to bash it onto the boot and get it out of there. Edwards follows up well. Got the handball to Cotchin. A little one off. And Graham's going to kick a goal. The young man steps up and delivers from 45. Big goal for a young man. A Chisholm and Gaiman goal of the day. And the Tigers hit the front by 4 points.
Shane Edwards take a bow. He's had 8 disposals, 4 contested ball, and 4 clearances.
That's this quarter.
All his disposals are contested, and he's been clean with his hands. That's how you get a win a ball, Mick, and get quick hands.
Well, I say about the ruckman, when you've got a dominant ruckman against an ineffective ruckman, don't bring the ball to the ground, smash it forward so you're going to get a runner on. So I reckon Adelaide are in a bit of trouble. Their system's wrong at the moment.
Just to add on to Edwards again, 4 score involvements this quarter as well.
And I like that Hardwick's run Martin deep for the last few minutes, and Brown's had to go to it.
Now Curvis climbs highest and gets the tap down. It came to Preston. Deep kick. It's nervous because Martin's going to mark it on the chest.
You're all over it, Gaz. he was gone, Brown, as soon as the ball was in the air.
Horrible. A horrible match.
It's not a great matchup at all.
You know what, he's smart.
You know what you got there? You got 30 seconds to get that right. You know, there's an edit at half time. When you see that as a coach, you've got to identify it quickly. 30 seconds.
We saw it. I mean, they could have turned their head, those blokes, and sorted that out themselves. Hardwick said, righto, pressure on, 4 minutes to go, we've got the lead, throw him down here, see if we can pinch 2 late ones.
In a game of inches, this is huge.
Justin Martin, the mark, 15 metres out. It's a tight kick, but it's good enough. Tigers on a roll at the MCG. Dustin Martin menacing Brown, takes the mark, converts, and they lead by 10 points with 3.5 minutes to go in this second term. Gaz and Spud for gin hang today. Quality LED lighting. You can gin hang your hat on, and they're starting to believe, boys.
Are they ever? 4 goals to none in this quarter. It was 4-2 in the first quarter. They've kicked the only 4 goals in the second quarter. They're now up to 6 themselves. Martin again stands inside 50 on his own. Hardigan off the bench now trying to get there. Oh, gee, they just had a big win in the coach's box. Dimmer Hardwick.
Lever or Talia had to go back on him just till Hardigan got on the ground. That's
probably Lever had to go back, really.
This is a big last 3 minutes of this quarter. We're back in the middle there. Curvis swings it down. Jacobs goes after it. Now Curvis again. Who's going to clear it? Matt Crouch comes in. He got the handball away to Seasmooth. Kicks the half forward. Up comes Taylor Walker. Couldn't take the mark and heads out towards the boundary line, rolling and bouncing and over. And we'll have a throw in 60 metres around from Adelaide's goal.
Some issues here for Jay Kelly, boys. Just come off, getting some treatment now. High up on his left hamstring. Really bothered by it.
Yeah.
What about Asprey on Taylor Walker? Walker took it to the cleaners around this year.
He's got to have a good look at himself at half time. The Texan,
no doubt.
Ball thrown back into play. Matt Crouch sockers it off the deck. It's inside the 50 now for Adelaide. Flossstone spun around. He was still able to get the handball out, and it's back over the boundary line again for a throw-in.
Goes with Taylor Walker. He's hailing the bus stop. Why doesn't he get a bit of lateral movement and a couple of figure eights?
Looks too accepting of it from mine, even when it does come in high. You can't concede that. You've got to fight hard to get that to ground.
And get on your bike.
Jacobs takes front position, got the tap down. They charge through the 50. Lynch a little give back to Jacobs. His left foot kick was smothered though by Lambert, and the ball's there to be taken.
Good up, Oren.
Greg rolls on with the tackle, and it'll be another ball up.
Oh, the tackling's been terrific this quarter. They've been even tackles, but I think Richmond have been more ferocious in the tackle, Mick.
I think the forward line of Adelaide is just far too predictable and not defensive enough. If it marks, it's great. If it doesn't mark, it's gone.
Richmond by 10 points. Preston's kick was half smothered up to meet at Rioli. A handball from Brad Crouch. Could have gone anywhere. McIntosh worked out of it by Brown. He paddles it back to Brad Crouch. Off to Matt. They're almost being tackled, but Jacobs just got a quick kick away. First back to it, Asprey. Otten tried to make a physical impact on him. He holds Rance at bay and sees the ball safely over the boundary line and out of bounds. Thrown in that forward pocket. It's Richmond by 10. Adelaide attacking. 2 minutes remaining in this second term.
Big stoppage here for the Adelaide Crows. The umpire to toss it back into play. It's about 35 metres around from their goal. In it comes. Jacobs able to knock it down. Taken by Graham though, who got the kick away. Back to the corridor it goes. Castagna couldn't take it cleanly. Laird now for the Adelaide Crows. A high one up inside the 50. Who's going to come at that? Caddy trying to take the mark. Eddie Betts is lurking, and they've got numbers back broad. He's able to clear it out. He just really rushed it onto the boot out towards the boundary line. It was a great result for the Tigers. It rolls out, and we're going to have a throw in just outside the 50 for Adelaide.
Eddie had a fair case for a free kick.
Hang on.
Dylan Grimes.
Yeah, no, that was a free kick. The umpire was right there as well.
Also a case for deliberate out of bounds, I would have thought.
Grimes did a great job on Betts. Great job on Betts.
Throw in.
Yeah, that was one of the few times he had a crumb to go at though, Betts. I mean, they keep outmarked.
And then Curvis thumped it away. It's rounded up by Seedsman. Not the best of handballs. Made life difficult for Douglas. Squirms out of it, but the pressure is intense and relentless from Richmond. It's been that way all year. And we'll have a throw in again, just sheer force of mind, and they work it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Well, Adelaide have had 47 kicks, 38 handballs. Richmond had 44 kicks, 25 handballs. So that there, far too many handballs under pressure.
Now Curvis climbs over the back of Jacobs. Picked up by Lynch, lovely hands to Matt Crouch. High ball, now an opportunity down there, wrestling Otten, couldn't take the mark. Skirting the pack, Riley Knight went to ground though. The Tigers have it over them everywhere at the moment.
Great defence.
And they rush it through with manic pressure and through for a behind. And it's 4:7:31 Adelaide, 6:4:40 Richmond. A minute 21 remaining, air conditioning warehouse sales clock.
At least the last two, the ball came to ground. Betts was on it, Wright was on it, Knight was on it rather, so they got a crumb.
Here's Flostone, ball back into play. Asprey went at it, couldn't take the mark. Coming up, Castagna tried to get the handball to Riola. Castagna, good follow-up. He just socked it off the turf. Running onto it, Lambert tried to keep it in, and then Douglas works it over, and we're going to have a throw-in. It's between wing and half-forward now for the Tigers, with 1 minute 6 seconds left on the clock in this second quarter.
Brown's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
I reckon he's hurt his knee in that contest.
Yeah, he's just come off in front of me, Mick, limping really heavily.
So a few issues on the bench for the Adelaide Crows. Ball thrown back into play. Jacobs swipes it down. Cochin, he's able to take it, the captain. He really just rushed it onto the boot. Seaman in a good spot, gets back and takes it half back.
And running perfect for him, Lyon. Oh, he set up McKay. McKay good enough to get the handball back. Tackle inevitable, picked up by Betts. Spinning through half forward. Out in front of Charlie Cameron to light up the MCG. No, Cameron goes wide for Riley Knight. He couldn't take the mark under severe duress from the bearded Flostone. And the Tigers are coming up trumps at the moment.
Gaz, how can you lead to 3 handballs in a row as a forward?
No,
Under pressure.
That's right, Spud, but at least Rory Laird's trying to make something happen through the middle of the ground. Yeah, take a punt through the middle. Maybe they've lost faith in their forwards, but...
Boundary throw in, 40 metres around. Jacobs to try and win it down, and Curvis neutralised. A little handball to Prestia from Grigg. Tapped on by Lambert, sitting on the 50. Oh, he's got through Charlie Cameron. Got a kick away, but it's going to be straight out of bounds on the full. And there's only 25 seconds remaining in this first half.
Well, they've been in 14 times, Adelaide, for no goals. That is great defence.
Yep.
All right, more for the midfield. They've really put pressure on the ball carriers going forward. Richmond alternatively gone in 15 times for 4 goals.
Yeah, they've weathered the storm the last 3 minutes. The Richmond defence, Brent Crouch, played for the free. Got the handball away. Ellis working the tight spot. Got the handball to Grigg and then handballed it over the boundary line as the Crows players asked the question for deliberate. The umpire says no dice, I'll throw it in.
Huge second quarter for the Richmond Footy Club. Massive. Just dried up Adelaide. The Adelaide forwards need a big hard look at themselves.
If Brad Crouch is going to continue a handball, they need 2 players around. He's had 10 handballs, 5 ineffective this quarter.
There's Nick Curvis, sends it down the line, but they've got it covered. Not taken by Talia. And Talia steps to the wing, and that is half time. And Richmond lead by 9 points at half time in the grand final. The Tigers are in front. 6-4-40. Adelaide 4-7-31. We said, Garry, before the game, if Richmond are in it at half time, they're a big chance.
They'd be over the moon with how this has panned out. 4 goals to 2 at quarter time. Yeah, certainly going okay, but a little concerned. They've just dried Adelaide up. Their defence has dried Adelaide up. The pressure from the behind the footy's been magnificent. But the challenge for Don Pike is to go and eyeball 3 blokes in particular, Jenkins, Walker and Otten, and say, boys, I don't care if you don't mark it. Bring the damn thing to ground and let's give us a contest.
Half-time break for Kangan Institute. Real education, real skills, real jobs. Kangan.edu. We'll see who's in the running for the SEN Tyre Power Player of the Day right now, and exclusively at Tyre Power. Buy 3 and get 1 free on a huge range of Toyo passenger and SUV tyres. Spud, just a couple of quick thoughts from you.
Well, you have a look at the bottom 4 position getters for Dodo, for Adelaide, Hutto. You've got Walker 4, Jenkins 3, Otten 3 and Talia 2. Big tools, having no impact whatsoever. Richmond have only got the 1 ruckman and 1 key forward, so they're quicker. On the spread, Richmond look more dangerous. They're going into the rooms at the moment, Richmond, with super confidence. They have withstood the challenge of Adelaide, and Adelaide are turning it up under pressure at the moment.
And the Crows have got their injury challenges too, which we'll get a check on from Rowan.
And Richmond have big third quarters traditionally as well. That's their quarter.
Under pressure, overuse of handball from Adelaide.
All right, we'll take a break, come back. SEN Footy for Toyota's Good for Footy program, supporting local clubs around Australia. Subway, the new slow-cooked rosemary and garlic lamb sub. Only at Subway, and X-Drive your dream with $10,000 cash. Enter now at xdrive.com.au. And our friends at Energy Australia light the way. It's
This
6.
quarter
Half-time in the grand final, it's the Tigers by 9 points. Richmond at 6-4-40. The Crows are 4-7-31. Kangan Institute half-time break. Real education, real skills, real jobs. Kangan.edu.au. A few more of those key matchups for Toyota Material Handling in a moment. Australia's first choice for new and used Toyota forklifts. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Let's get downstairs to Rowan. Injury update for Medibank, the new Medibank app. It's now even faster to use. Your cover. Luke Brown is out there, right?
Yeah, look, he and Jake Kelly look like they might be able to get on with the proceedings, so that's good. The one to keep an eye on, though, and he's just coming towards me, he'll start on the interchange, Hugh Greenwood. As you can see, his right calf really, really heavily strapped. I think there might be a bit of an Achilles issue, and he had a fair bit of treatment in that second quarter, so bit of a toll being taken on their running stocks. And actually Jake Kelly starting this quarter off the ground as well. Interchange numbers 41 for the Tigers, 40 to Adelaide. And look, weather-wise, I think we've seen the last of the rain, so that might be a bit of good news to the Crows. They were certainly over-possessing a bit in that second quarter.
Pike, we know he's a great coach. Can he change it up?
Well, he hasn't.
Big issue.
He hasn't traditionally, and on the forward line he's going with is exactly the same. It's Otten going deep with Rance. You got Jenkin and Grimes and Walker and Asprey. So Boston goes to Betts. Tom Lynch is not starting up on the side of the square. He's starting deeper. No great change.
At least he's got 5 forwards. It's normally 4 starting.
Charlie Cameron will run through the line like he has most of the finals.
I don't reckon this has been a really hard grand final, physically. And someone's got to inject themselves. I mean, this is why I'm talking about Tex a lot. He's your captain. He's your leader. He's a bloke that's got to have some physical presence. And I don't reckon he's had much this first half.
So the Tiger fans have had a good 25 minutes just to think about what is ahead.
Well, they love it, Hudson.
Are they an hour away from Premiership glory?
I'm looking at Cochin, who had a quietish half. He looks to me like he's got an appetite. They're 60 minutes away.
Yeah.
They would have thought about it, the impossible dream. Well, it's a hell of a lot more possible now.
Umpire Sean Ryan has the footy. Jacobs against Nankervis. Not the perfect bounce, but not far off it. Nankervis taps it behind him, but it's read by Douglas. He's run down by Cochin. It's the same as the first half. Tigers win the hard one. Graham to Ellis and a wide and effective kick, and this tumbling Lambert takes the mark.
That Cotton lunging tackle, Hutto, is critical, because that's going inside 50 otherwise, and maybe the impetus has changed. That was massive.
Lambert tosses it up for Revolt to fly!
What a grab.
Fully committed Jack Revolt. Takes the grab, stands up 70 metres out. He pops it up for Dusty. Going to be hard to mark against Sloane, who got a fist to it. Matt Crouch is going to be confronted by Townsend. It's there to be taken. Hooley maybe could have got a free kick. 30 metres out from goal. The umpire says no, and we'll ball it up.
That's why Hooley's down there, because they've got the extra player around the ball, and he decides whether he's 15 or 50, and that's a very dangerous player there.
Jacobs taps it down. Cochin tried to go through all the right moves, but without the footy. It comes Rioli's way, and it's out of bounds. It was a Glenn Cameron group mark of the day. By the way, classic Cameron's can-do grab from Jack Revolt. Great friends, Glenn Cameron Group. SEN Silvertop Taxi scoreboard. 6-4-40 Richmond, 4-7-31 Adelaide.
Ball thrown back into play. Jacobs got prime position here, knocks it down, but Dustin Martin comes and takes it to Jack Graham, back to Martin. Pitched down, don't argue, the footy dislodged. Ball hits the deck, Matt Crouch flicks the handball up. Charlie Cameron couldn't handle it because the heat was coming from Dusty. It's over again, we'll have a throw-in.
Graham, the young man's got Sloane, Spud, so he's come out. Looks like he's got a hard tag on Rory Sloane.
So 50 around from Richmond's goal as the umpire throws it into play. And Curvis and Jacobs works it down. Quick handball away to Lambert, who tries with the outside of the boot, and Butler was there and was clobbered too by Hardigan.
Around armour.
I thought he was out for a moment, but he gets up.
And that was Graham that won that first clearance off the pack, so on Sloane.
And won it clean, didn't he?
Yep.
And we're watching now as he's shoulder to shoulder to Sloane. Throw in, crowd just saw the replay. It drops short, double fist from Jacobs, goes to Graham, tackled as the tables were turned. Play on the call. It is a free kick to Graham, is it?
Yep, being paid by the guy, the umpire in the middle, the non-controlling umpire. So this is Graham on Sloane again.
Yeah, the tackle slipped up, it was there.
Can I ask the question of Jacobs' double fister to space?
What?
I can't work that one out. You're a dominant ruckman, but you're giving the speed of Richmond a chance to get into it.
Huge moment here. This young man kicks this, his second goal of the game on the opposition best player. It's massive.
He's playing his 5th game of AFL football. The young South Australian will make Melbourne rise if he can kick a goal! From 30 metres out, as cool as you like. Jack Graham puts Richmond 15 points in front. 3 minutes into the 3rd quarter. This quarter for Self-Wealth. Trade the stock exchange for a fixed fee of $9.50 per trade, regardless of trade size. Grand final dreams.
Well, Gaz, they've had, he's playing on Sloane, probably Adelaide's best player in the first half. There's been 11 disposals in this quarter. He's had 5.
Yeah,
he's had 5 with 11.
Unbelievable start. And I'll get back to that Cochin lunging tackle. The ball didn't go into Adelaide's forward 50. It came back the other way on Richard Douglas. And now it's 15 points. Adelaide have only kicked 30 for the game.
Back in the middle, Jack Graham in his 5th game. What a moment for that young man. Jacobs able to win that one down, and Douglas takes it and gets the centre clearance. Wasn't a great ball inside the 50, goes deep, and Rance is going to take it. Andy Otten holding him without possession.
Otten is better up playing behind Rance.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They've got eight players, Richmond down there. Sorry, Adelaide have got 4 forwards when that ball goes in there. How can you win that against this back line?
Here's Rance, kicks it up the line. Good mark taken by Canny.
Starting to roll, Matty.
Starting to believe. Richmond, the players, as he kicks it to the wing. Dustin Martin, his target. Went over his head. He's going to get it at ground level, though. Holding on for dear life was Douglas. He got the handball out, Dusty. Rioli knocked it to his own advantage. McKay wants the boundary line, and he doesn't get it initially. Now it's over, and we're going to have a throw-in just outside the 50 for the Tigers.
Maybe that's a technique to stop Dusty. Grab his shorts and try and pull them off.
Well, Douglas has got Mark, so now Sloane's probably trying to break the tag.
Going to. They're
trying to break the tag with Graham.
Adelaide have only touched the ball twice this quarter so far.
Oh, you can hear the noise of the Tiger tribe throwing at Harford. Grigg took his chances, charged through the pack. Lambert straight ahead. It came to Martin, of course it did. Conquered one and a second. A handball to Grigg, and they can get on their feet again.
It's a mark.
Oh, it's a mark. Boy, I thought he was over the line. Lever has taken the saving mark. He's kicked it quickly. Walker has to impact. Flies and does that. Ground level. Edwards scouting the pack. Screws it back to Lambert just outside the 50. There's Tiger arms up everywhere calling for it. And boy, that must have been touch and go.
Hardigan's slow to get up too. He's in the hands of the trainers.
Well, they're battered and they're bruised. A handball to Vlostone. A Hail Mary from 60 metres to the square. It's not dead yet. Now it is. It's fisted through for a behind. And Richmond go to 7-5-47. Adelaide 4-7-31 on the SEN Silvertop Taxi scoreboard. Going to or from the footy, download the app and pre-book your Silvertop Taxi.
Chemist Warehouse replay, boys. We had a look at it. We'll get back to it in a moment. As Brown kicks it to the wing, Jenkins, it's better. He takes the mark, the big man. He's going to impact himself into this contest.
Finally, Cochin just slides himself from centre back as a midfielder centre back.
Half back, he works it, but on the intercept was Basher Hurley reading the cues beautifully again. Hurley gets on with business, kicks it to Rioli, didn't fly. Laird did. Out the back is Brown, and he waits for it to go over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw in 50 around from Richmond's goal.
All over the mark. It was a clear lever, Mark. That was no problem. Looked deceptive from where we are, Hutto. We're looking after you.
Thank you.
But the energy levels right now, these two sides, absolute ends of the scale. Richmond are up on their toes. They're chasing balls down to the boundary. It's quite marked at the moment.
They lead by 16 points. The ruckman tangle again, and then Curvis the tap, picked up by Kelly, a handball to Cameron, a rush kick. They all are. Walker has to fly, and he doesn't take the mark. Instead, the man in front.
Classic case. Classic case. Had to halve the contest, Hutto. I mean, getting outmarked by Vloston.
Just little pop kick over the top to Edwards. They edge closer to goal. Revolt stands his ground, top of the square. Edwards descended his way. Jack's in front. Can't mark. Ball dislodged by Talia. Up for grabs. McKay. Desperate. Got it away. Prestia, though, impeded. Flicked the handball up. Lambert fires it out. Edwards, a little chip kick, and they're on again, and Grigg takes the mark.
Repeat entries at 6 inside 50s to 1. We've been going 7 minutes. Adelaide have at 5 kicks going at 40%.
Spud, take me back to the centre. The ball goes into the middle. The captain there hasn't had a good day at half time. It's a slow high ball. Lostone's sitting under it. He's charging forward. He can't even half it.
Bowl him over.
Do something, man.
So
your knees into him.
Sean Grigg, a picture of concentration. Started his career at the Blues, but is Tiger tough now?
Hey.
Look at this. These are scenes like they think they're going to win this game. And right now, why wouldn't they? 22 points the difference. Sean Grigg puts it through from 45 metres out on a slight angle. Richmond 8-5-53. Adelaide 4-7-31. 8 minutes gone, third quarter.
6 inside 50s this quarter, Spud, 2 goals.
Clearances 4-2, tackles, they're on top.
It's almost beyond their reach because Richmond can control tempo from here too. So, I mean, it's a desperation point here. Tex Walker can point all he likes. He has to find something.
And you look at their full forward, Otten on Rance. Geez, I know who's going to win that duel.
Tigers have been incredible. They lead by 22 points. We're back in the middle. Jacobs guides it down. Brad Crouch tackled. Douglas stumbles at the crucial moment. And they're all over him. Caddy over the top. The umpire's going to come in and ball it up.
Well, Pike's got to get rid of the extra off the square now.
Yeah.
They can't save the game. They've got to win it. So they need an even contribution forward to the ball now.
It's evened up now.
So ball up. Seaman there. Cochin wanted it more. Got the handball out, and Lambert unleashes with a kick up inside the 50. Talia knocks it down. Here's Butler, kept his feet, got the handball. Townsend balled over. Butler went back and got it, and then he kicks a high ball. It goes to the hot spot. No mark. Lever is there, and Krieg got the handball. Lambert's a chance here from the pocket. Snapped and goals. Another one for the Tigers. Wow. It is all Richmond at the MCG on grand final day, and they lead by 28 points. A Chisholm and Gaiman goal of the day.
Well, you look around this ground, I'm seeing just Richmond supporters here who can't believe it, but
it's the Sweeper Northerly.
Sweeper Northerly was here. What do you got possession-wise this quarter?
Well, we've got 31 disposals to Richmond to 10 to Adelaide, and it's just the speed. And when Adelaide do get the ball, they're turning it over. 40% by foot for Dodo. Richmond 72%.
And still they persist with this 5-man setup that Mick's been on about all day. Okay, it's all right when you're setting up. When you're getting belted, please.
Good tap that time from Jacobs to Brad Crouch. Kicks to half distance in the Sloane direction. Hooley there more than a match the first time, and goes again, Basher Hooley, and again, and comes up with a footy and scrounges it along the wing and gets it out of bounds. And every touch, every handball, every knock-on being cheered by the yellow and black faithful right now. They lead by 28 points.
Well, Adelaide win the clearance, but it goes to an extra to Richmond.
Their key forwards aren't good enough to mark it one-on-one, let alone with an extra 1 or 2.
Jacobs wins another tap, gets it down to Douglas, a high ball. Here they go again. Grimes dislodged, and the ball fell to Eddie Bent. Has to create something. Kicks from 50, it's drifting. Nothing is coming together for the Crows. It's in for a minor.
It gets back to Mick's point at the start of the game, Gaz. Have 6 forwards and get Jacobs, who's dominating, belt the hell out of the ball 30 metres their way.
Well, you saw it just then. He got his hands well above the other opposition ruckman and did nothing with it. It's no use dominating the wing play because they can't get the ball out of the wing, the Adelaide Pros.
Margin 27 this quarter for Self-Wealth.
It's a free kick.
Yep, free kick against the Creek for going early. Jacobs will take it.
Self-Wealth trade the stock exchange for a fixed fee of $9.50 per trade, regardless of trade size.
Jacobs goes very short to McKay, who wants to play on. It's out to the left-hand side, and it's sailing through for another minor score. SEN Silvertop Taxi scoreboard going to or from the footy. Download the app, pre-book your Silvertop Taxi. Margin 26 in favour of the Tigers at the 12-minute mark of the third quarter.
Sloane, a huge kick out to halfback Martin, beaten in the air. The big fist came from Atkins, grabbed by Riley Knight, but he's swamped by Tigers. Time and time again they come. Sloane joins the fray. It comes out the back to Dustin Martin. This is a big grand final moment. He runs, he bounces, he handballs to Rioli. He burns them off, he goes short to Revolt. The big Tiger names are all involved. Grigg drifts down to provide a target. Revolt ponders, takes stock, deposits it at the top of the goal square. At the back, Greenwood, almost the mark taken. Jacobs just got it away, and the lunge had come from Townsend, but Brad Crouch has the footy now, under pressure, and they close him out. A quick handball to Laird, and then over the top to Kelly, and then another handball from Lever to Talia, wobbles it back to the wing. Sloane flies, can't mark. Tap forward by Atkins, but the Richmond have got the answers. Broad back towards Cochin by hand, and then from behind the reinforcements arrive. Ashbury drives that southern half forward flank, and he finds Prestia as the Tigers build again.
Handball off to Butler. Butler looks up, he goes with a centering kick. It's going to be Townsend to set himself. Big Sauce got back there for Adelaide. Jacobs takes the mark for the Crows.
Yeah, look at Cochin though.
Oh, that's dangerous. But comes off. Mark has been taken by Douglas at the wear one by Grimes.
50
and 50 metres as well.
I was going to say, Cochin's now almost playing quarterback, and he's taken the corridor away from him. Every chance he gets, he just plops himself in the middle of the ground.
But also Jacobs now trying to save every goal as opposed to
push forward.
That's right. His ability to get forward has been fantastic during here.
Andy Otten presents and goes inside the 50, and Walker takes the mark. Finally, Taylor Walker with a mark inside the 50.
Oh, how big's this kick?
45 out.
There's got to be a spark somewhere, because right now there's almost this sense of inevitability about it. So he's got to be the man who says, no, I'll change things. The only thing is, Bud, it's taken 2.5 quarters to realise he needs to hit up at the footy.
Taylor Walker.
His first definite lead for the game.
It's got to be you, Taylor. He's got to kick it. 48 metres out from goal, directly in front. He'll unload with a kick. He moves in, the captain, and he puts through the goal. He delivers and puts it straight through the middle. So will that be a fire starter for the Crows? 20 points to margin now. Adelaide go to 5-9-39. Richmond 9-5 at 59. It's in Air Conditioning Warehouse Sales. Cop, get Melbourne's best air conditioning prices and air conditioning warehouse sales. 11 minutes still to go in this third quarter.
Well, 20 points in and of itself is nothing in the modern game. Just the way this game's being played, it seems like it's an enormous amount. Now, surely they can look at that and go, righto, let's even up and come up at the footy. Present at the ball. He must present at the ball, Taylor Walker.
Ron, we'll get to you just for an update on all those injuries, or is it all players out there at the moment? There's no sides short, are they, at this stage?
Not from my observations, Hutto. I think even Greenwood's okay.
All right, the tap down from Jenkins, but smartly onto it quickly was Cochin. Handball to Castagna, was smothered. Went Riley Knight's way. Is it a swing of momentum? Broad says no. He defies Greenwood. Kicks it to centre half forward. Caddy comes out and takes the mark. He could go to revolt. He's got Dusty Martin. Dusty's calling for this in the pocket. He says, I'm Dusty, you kicked me, but he ignores him, Caddy. Instead, it's a bounding ruckman. It's Nankervis who receives, and he goes short, and he finds Graham.
Well, everyone asked the question before this game started, who's the unlikely hero? Who's the bloke that can just bob up from nowhere? I'm not sure many had Jack Graham down as a bloke that may have 3 halfway through the third quarter.
But when Adelaide went forward then, the centre bounce, it was 4v7. So when Adelaide got the ball, they ran into a brick wall.
Well, he's got to cross through the Tiger logo on the 50 and kick it for 48 metres for his third goal. He can start pinching himself now.
Wow.
Jack Graham. Yes, you've kicked 3 goals in an AFL Grand Final in your first year of AFL football, and Richmond are back to a 26-point lead. This quarter for Southwell, trade the stock exchange for a fixed fee of $9.50 per trade, regardless of trade size. It's 10-5-65 Richmond, 5-9-39 Adelaide.
In his first year,
19-year-old.
How about his first how many games? 5?
5 games.
First 5 games. It's extraordinary, but again, we want to look at the centre bounce and explain to people at home what we mean. Adelaide is starting with 2 players off the back of the square, which they've done most of the year, which means they've got 4 forwards against. Well, right now they've got 5.
Right, but it's 5v6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a quick kick out of the middle, and they're outnumbered desperately. Ball comes back the other way.
Ball back in the middle. Matt Crouch got it on to Douglas, who was swamped in the tackle. A big tackle, high tackle there by Cochin. Aggressive, but good, but free kick as Douglas got the handball on. And then Brown, he goes for the long kick up inside the 50. Andy Otten is there, the ball killed, hits the deck. McIntosh wants it. He takes it, wrapped up by Cameron and Betts. They give him the round to the kitchen. Umpire says, I will have it. And we'll have a ball up in the forward pocket for the Crows, with the margin sitting at 26 in favour of Richmond.
The only way back is to get Betts and Cameron up the ground and get their pace to get the ball over the top.
Ball tossed up in the pocket. Jenkins taps it away. Richmond have the numbers. Ellis, a handball to Hooley, a rush kick. Martin versus Hardigan. Hardigan did well to stop Martin taking the mark. It's there to be taken at centre half back. Look at Butler. Takes it, sprints away. He'll bounce and run straight headlong into trouble. Well done by Richard Douglas. Steadfast and strong, but he's the tables turned. Martin's trying to knock and clear. He got a quick kick to Revolt. He marked that left foot kick. It's 1-on-1 inside 50. It's a tough for Lambert, but here they come charging through. Caddy picks up the ball on the 50 and he works it back to buy some time, and they've got plenty of it, Richmond, right now. They've got the luxury of a lead of 28 points.
Well, they've got composure too, Hutto.
26
Beautiful
points.
Kick backwards.
To Ellis, who goes short to Rioli, and they can set up again.
And this is tempo stuff, Hutto.
Yep.
They can afford to just burn a minute here and a minute there. They've got 26 on the board.
And Rioli just pops it up into the pocket. Tough to mark. Greg handcuffed by Hardigan. He couldn't quite finish the job. Prestia, a wild handball. Castagna, they're looming again. Spinning out of it, Shane Edwards. It's up. And it's across the face, and it's going to be out on the full. If Lever hadn't got a fist to it, would have been. But it's actually touched for a throw-in instead now.
Yeah, no composure there. Hutto 2-on-1, just had to sort of protect the Richmond player from getting a fist on it there.
I think he was worried that the way things are going, it might have fallen in his lap.
SEN Silvertop Taxi scoreboard going to or from the footy. Download the app and pre-book your Silvertop Taxi. It's a 26-point lead.
Ball thrown back into play. Greenwood able to get the kick out. Didn't get out too far though. Edwards got it away to Townsend. Now Prestia's going to line up, and he fires at goal and misses to the right-hand side, through for a minor score.
Well, this quarter, what have we going? Nearly 20 minutes. Sloane hasn't touched the ball for Dodo this quarter.
Just come back on, and look, they got Rance just backstopping here beautifully with Asprey. The numbers behind the ball, everything working for Richmond.
It's all short stuff on the way out as Brad Crouch takes the mark.
Well, now's the switch, Hutto. We said it the first quarter. They're set up for the switch. They won't take it on. Long and slow and high down the line.
And that's exactly what happens. It'll suit Alex Rance just fine. In front, Otten. Competed but didn't take the mark. Lovely little hands, allows Rance to get clear. His kick was a little wayward. In fact, it's out of bounds on the full.
And again, look, there's 6 Adelaide players set up for this switch of the footy from the deep in defence.
Too many of them, Gaz, so they're all standing next. They might as well have lunch together, because that's how far apart they are. They're wasting their time. They've got to start to distribute themselves.
Now switch this time. Brad Crouch to Brown. He takes the next kick. Yes, he does.
Finally,
to Hardigan. And they'll get out this side via Douglas. He's still pinned against the line, though, as he got the next kick on. He didn't take it. Riley Knight came up to offer himself as the short. Instead, he takes a dangerous kick, and it's got bypassed them all. Opens up the door for Grigg. He turns left foot kick. Watch out, Dusty's ready. Dusty's got it. He's played on and gets it across to Castagna. The roar of the jungle of these Tigers. Oh, surely now. 33 points the difference. Punt Road has erupted. We're seeing shots on the coverage.
This is unbelievable. Well, if you had any doubt now, they fired their last shot. They did the right thing, tried to change the footy. Hardigan's kick into the pocket to Douglas was a horror kick. It floated and sat up, so they couldn't get any continuity with the ball. Nick's right. They've stopped running. They've stopped trying to create for one another. They've gone into preservation mode. They've just worn them down, Richmond. Absolutely worn them down.
And Adelaide has still got 7 behind the ball. I just can't work it out.
They've got 8
behind the ball.
8 behind the footy. 8 behind the back of the square, Adelaide.
But they won't switch it. So what's the point of having extras behind the ball? That means you got outnumbered forward line.
Tigers by 33. Sloane in there trying to do something about it. Overwhelmed though by pressure. In goes Cochin. Oh, Rioli socketed off the turf. It's the half forward now. Rioli goes again off the ground. Here's a chance for Lambert. He attacks it. Good work that time by Lever. With some good aggression by Lambert, who went again as they all pile on top of the football. It squirts out, it comes to Brown. They're under the pump. Back to McKay by hand. He gets it onto the boot, but it's a real rush kick. And guess who? Basher Hurley takes the mark again.
Well, Taylor Walker had to bowl him over then.
He's got Norm on his mind, Basher.
Hurley now pumps it up inside the 50. Almost the Marcus Stagner. He's doing the tackling work now. He's Could be holding the footy. No, the umpire's going to come in and ball it up 35 metres out from Richmond's goal. They lead by 33 points, the Tigers, with 6.5 to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, well, Bashahulu is under the ball. Taylor Walker ships in the night.
Yeah, first time he's actually punched it forward.
He spikes at 20 metres, Jacobs. It could turn out okay. Rush kick from Lever back to the wing. Playing in front, Otten. He was worried about Rance. He grabbed him and the umpire saw it. He's been doing it all day, Andy Otten.
Another free kick to Rance.
Yeah, free kick.
You might as well get Otten off.
Get him off.
He's conceded. You might as well play Cameron or Betts on.
Yeah, Eddie Betts full forward for mine, Gus.
Hey, Spud, they're 30 odd down the grand final. You got to just throw it open, take the game on.
Rance kicks to half forward. Shuffling in front, Caddy, knocked away. Here's big Nan Curvis, bundled it for Hooley. Little inverted torpedo to full forward as the danger grows. Castagna putting tackles on left, right and centre. Kelly under the serious heat now. They are burning the Tigers. Still they scramble for it. It's the Richmond way, and we're going to have a ball up 15 metres out from goal. And the appreciation, the love, you can feel it around the MCG.
It's no use having Betts full forward. The ball's not getting there. He's got to come up the ground with his pace and his ball getting.
16-5 inside 50s for the quarter.
Jacobs the tap, but it came unstuck again. Koch and Jacobs has to go, and Caddy squeezed the kick out of there. But it's gone on the full. Gaz and Spud, by the way, for Jinhang quality LED lighting, you can Jinhang your hat on. It's 11:6:72, playing 5-9-39 in favour of the Tigers. 6 minutes to go in this third term.
Laird to Seedsman. Seedsman got to be quick. Handball. What was he doing there? Brad Crouch, he's under the pump now. Put the handball to his brother Matt. And Seedsman again just got it and kicked it down the line. Otten trying to knock it to his own advantage. Flostone is there though for the Tigers. Got numbers. As Ellis takes it now for Richmond. Directs the kick to half forward. It bounces. Castagna couldn't. Dustin Martin could. Then Matt Crouch captured him in the tackle, holding the ball.
It's been enormous, Matt Crouch. Quieted this quarter, but his work rate in the first half was huge.
Well, I've called the play on. Had to get a real rush. Seedsman takes the mark, hits the ground running, and then he kicks it to centre half forward. Taylor Walker not in the contest. Giving back now Curvis, and he shares it with Rance, and now Ellis. They work down the members' wing. Grimes kick partially smothered. Flostone given the round to the kitchen by Seedsman, and the umpire's going to come in and ball it up on the wing. Richmond by 33.
Richmond by 33 with one mid-tall forward. Adelaide got 3 tall forwards and have not looked like it.
Nan Curvis gets the tap down. There's crows everywhere. A fumble from Riley Knight. He slipped over. Recovered. Handball to McKay. They meet again at half forward. Otten and Rance again. Grimes back. Play on the call. They split the contest, at least Adelaide that time. Gives themselves a chance. Burrowing in hard, Sloane. But Richmond have the answers. Prestia went once. McIntosh, the ball slipping through multiple hands. A handball from Prestia. Castagna clean bowled. Laird trying his heart out. Butler wore him beautifully. And the Tigers are a force of nature right now. Castagna bounces his way through. Goes short to centre half forward and falls short. Townsend can't grasp it. Gets up. They're all straight lines, the Tigers. They just get it and go. Off the ground. Martin's coming. They try and close him out. He's indestructible though, Dusty. He's got the free kick. Free kick to Dustin Martin in the pocket.
Yeah, go back to Jacob Townsend, boys. Over here. He hasn't had a huge amount of footy, but he's got Lever under control. Levers hasn't had a chance to zone off at all, and just hard to footy, kept it alive. This is the result.
He runs around Richmond and he screwed it too far, Dusty. 34 points is the margin as he played on. We saw it on the Chemist Warehouse replay. Get ready for summer with a 1 kilo of slender blend variants from Protein World for just $49.99 each from Chemist Warehouse.
Well, that's all over it there at Chemist Warehouse. Here's McKay, who takes the mark, top of his defensive goal square.
Look around, Matty. Not one Adelaide bloke trying to make something happen here.
No run from behind, no switching.
This is full credit to Richmond, Spud. They have sucked the life out of him, the energy, taken it out of him.
Here's Atkins. Now it's the handball. McKay, and he's gone, Atkins! Rioli's got him! Gone!
They're spooked. They are spooked.
You got 4 talls down the line. They wouldn't go there because they haven't marked it all day, so...
How could that be a free kick, though? He had no prior opportunity. None.
Maybe he didn't make an effort after he got tackled.
Well, how could he?
Noise of affirmation.
I think he was using his eyelids.
So here's Rioli. Just getting Bashahuli to clear out of the area. It's going to short the Bashahuli, takes the mark inside the 50.
Basher kicks this. He's just going to say, righto, and the bloke with the engraving pen, just Houli, just make sure it's in contention.
Used the ball extremely well. Disposal number 20 going 73% and lining up for goal number 2.
So Bashahuli, let's see what he can do here. Full of confidence. Houli kicks from the 50. It's out to the right-hand side, and it's going to sail through for a minor score with just over 2 minutes left to play in this third quarter. The Premiership quarter has been Richmond's quarter. They lead by 35.
Instant kick in, marked by the lever, knows he's got to go, flirting with danger, but he goes short. Finds Matt Crouch. He looks up, and Richmond own the corridor. He's still gone short to Hardigan. Some more nervous times.
Hand up out there, Hudson.
Back to Matt Crouch, and then out to the wing. Lever, Kelly goes forward and then back. And then kicks it to Harford. Can they get a late one? Sloane flies off the pack. Alton, he tried to handball it back, but they're ahead of the game. McIntosh grabbed it, and he's taken in turn by Sloane. Comes to Hugh Greenwood, who's done nothing since quarter time. He was great early. Hurried kick away from Jack Graham, who still can't believe he's kicked 3 goals on grand final day. Mark knock taken by Talia. There's Tigers ready and waiting and willing. A handball, Castagna. Jay Kelly did well. Gets it back to Crouch, but he's banged it on the boot, and McIntosh has got it covered. 1:24 remaining in this third quarter, which has been dominated by the Tigers on the Dodo stat sheet. Give big internet bills to Bird. Call 13 Dodo.
He's just controlling things too, Cotchin now. Just taking the heat out of it.
Yep, it's got the football now, kicking to half forward. Just taking the no mark, ball hits the air. Kelly wrapped up, got it out. Butler, he was swamped in the tackle. Matt Crouch gets it back onto the boot. And flying up was Asprey, no mark. Chance here for Sloane. Handball to Lynch, who kicks the centre half forward. Jenkins takes the mark inside the centre square, wanting someone to come at him. Decides to handball instead. Atkins is going to load it up from the 50 and never look like it. Just blazing away, sailing out on the full, and it's a Richmond footy.
It's 6 inside 50s. There's 6 for the quarter. Richmond have had 17.
I think it's 9 goals to 1 since quarter time, isn't it?
100%.
It's just a bit of domination.
Yep.
Adelaide just have a look. There's no spirit, no run. All the characteristics of a grand final side have disappeared.
Here's Lynch. Might have a crack. Short ball. He gets it to Jenkins. And Jenkins takes the mark at 45. Will go back and settle.
And this is the only way that Jenkins kicks goals is when he's by himself. And he can't win a one-on-one ball to kick a goal.
So this will put them 29 points behind and try and mount a case.
Yeah, no, that's what you got to do. I don't try and keep the interest in it, but right now they're about
10 seconds
80
left
to 1.
Quarter.
Yep.
Well, he needs to kick it for any chance.
It'll be a long way back. Here's Jenkins on the runaway now, kicking from 49 metres. And it's out to the left-hand side, right on 3/4 time.
Wow.
Have a listen to this.
And the Tigers have got one hand on the Premiership Cup. They've had an amazing third quarter. 5 goals 4 to 1 goal 3 to set up a 34-point lead as we turn for home, Hutto.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Richmond boys. There's no thinking they got the job done. They're just walking into the huddle, getting around each other. 34 points. How many kicked 40 for that match, Adelaide?
5 goals to 1 the quarter, and they lead by 34 points. After the break, we'll see who's in the running for the SEN Tyre Power Player of the Day, otherwise known as the Norm Smith Medal. Right now, and exclusively at Tyre Power, buy 3 and get 1 free on a huge range of Toyo passenger and SUV tyres. SEN Footy for Toyota's Good for Footy program, Subway, X-Drive, and our friends at Energy Australia light the way. It's Richmond, yes, Richmond by 34 points in the 2017 AFL Grand Final. Richmond lead the 2017 AFL Grand Final by 34 points, 11-8-74 to 5-10-40. Ground weather for Charlie Batista & Co, 14 degrees, 5% chance of rain for the rest of the day, all clear there. Charlie Batista & Co, Melbourne's finest prestige vehicle repair facility. Gaz, righto, all on the line, what can Adelaide do?
Well, Richmond have been magnificent, they take nothing away, but Don Pike to me has had a stinker. The game continued to slide away, he continued to play the same way, which is right into the hands of the opposition. Even the numbers up forward of the ball mix it up. Right now they got 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, they got 6 forwards. So, it's too little too late. 34 points the margin. It's too late. I think he's had a bad day, Don.
The gate shut, Gas. All Richmond need to do is just keep doing what they're doing, Mick. It's as simple as that.
Well, Richmond have also got the extra player, which they've always wanted, which is Frawley in this instance. So whatever goes out of here is going to come back very, very quickly. So actually, they might go with 6 forwards, but they've actually got playing against 7 defenders, and that will.
Hardigan is the corresponding, which is hardly.
Well, he doesn't run the ball. Doesn't
kick it. Doesn't run it.
No, down a roll on the boundary, all clear, Rowan, from an injury point of view.
Yeah, all clear. Adelaide, if they're going to win, going to have to create history. Biggest comeback ever from 3/4 time deficit. Only 23 points.
There's Christian Barnard down there because there's a couple of hearts need operating on. No, really, I mean, it's very disappointing, the Crows. They've lacked a bit of heart today.
Hey, they've had a stinker.
Richmond by 34, they're nearly there. Final quarter of the 2017 Grand Final is underway. It's not a great bounce. The umpire, in fact, will recall it.
Looking at Jack Graham going head-to-head with Rory Sloane. He's a South Australian. I think he's a South Australian under-18 captain.
Yep.
He grew up loving the Adelaide Crows. I think he might have had Rory Sloane on his bedroom wall.
So ball up again. Comes to Dustin Martin, starting in the middle of this quarter. Handball out to Cochin, who gets it onto the boot, the skipper. He kicks the half forward. Rioli somehow took that mark. Incredible. So Rioli points to where he wants someone to go. Butler flying, no mark. He'll take it at ground level. Look away, handball to Graham. He's been at everything today. Comes unstuck though. Comes to Brown, who's under the pump immediately. Just burns the handball. And Curvis almost dragged down. Butler goes back in again. Squirts out. Taylor Walker can't get a handle on it. Rioli in there again, and the umpire calls for it, or we're going to have a ball up.
What we've seen of this young, small Richmond forward line is that they get better as the game wears on. Butler and Castagna came into the game late last week, so they'll keep running as hard as they were at the start.
And then Curvis tapped it and did his own roving. Screwed it in the revolt direction. Talia wore him well, but the ball got away from them anyway. It's out of bounds. Would love to have taken another Glen Cameron group mark of the day. Classic Cameron's can-do grab, of course. Our friends at Glen Cameron. 34 points the margin. Richmond lead, and they're attacking early in the final term to the city end. Right forward pocket. Rioli in the ruck against Jacobs, can you believe? Gets the tap down. Brown double grab. Under pressure now. McKay just had to submit and try and force the ball up, and that's what he was able to do without giving away the free kick.
But they're able to use their ruckman behind the ball here, Richmond, because they know that they can't. Adelaide can't clear the ball because of the numbers.
Jacobs takes the tap against Revolt, and the ball went straight to him. Now he's grabbed it out of the ruck effectively, so it's holding the ball. Matt Crouch takes the advantage when he really shouldn't have. He's kicked it straight back to Lambert, who takes an outstanding mark.
That's a dumb decision, Hunter.
Dumb.
Was he partway through it before the whistle blew?
Well, maybe, yeah. Glen Cameron group mark of the day. This quarter for the Australian Diamond Company. We do the right thing by you because it matters to us. Lambert with a set-up kick for Revolt! This is it! This is it here and now.
Great kick.
He's taken 3 absolute rippers today. The only thing he's failed to do, unfortunately, which is a strong point of him, is seal the deal. He's kicked 1-3 for Dodo, but some of his marking's been terrific.
It was a great kick. Summed it up, though. There was plenty of traffic there for Adelaide, and none of them were able to get in the hole.
Well, a man who's been the face of some of the ups and downs of this Richmond Football Club. No one loves the Tigers more than Jack Revolt. And he stands 30 metres out from goal and gets the engraver out. Richmond are going to win the Premiership, Jack. Jack, you're going to be a Premiership player. He puts it through the middle. And the Tigers are up around the MCG. Good stuff.
Wow, beautifully called, Hutto. Just having a look at the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. There's a lot of Richmond supporters looking at each other in disbelief.
Yeah.
Saying that, is this a dream? Or is this, can someone pinch me?
Well, I know who should be looking at each other. Is Talia just let him run right into that open space.
That's been all day, Mick. Too slow.
Yep.
Too slow, Adelaide today.
He was running away from the media. He got stuck at the Richmond station, Jack. Doesn't that seem a long time ago now?
Well, there'll be a lot of tears in the crowd at the moment, Richmond fans.
Look at these eyes on the replay. The eyes of the Tiger there, Jack.
40 points the margin now. We're back in the middle. Cochin again impacted it. Comes to Curvis, who gets it onto the boot and he kicks it out to the wing. McKay just pushes it to the boundary line. They want it though, Richmond. They want to keep it in. They want more. Hardigan, he might have been taken high there. In fact, it went over. We're going to have a boundary throw in.
The biggest improver from round 6 is definitely Nankervis.
No doubt.
Because he's split the possession rate. He hasn't been as dominant in the ruck, but he hasn't allowed Jacobs to dominate the game.
And they rolled the dice and gone one out with him all year.
Jacobs wins that one down decisively. Sloane takes it. Jan Frito goes back in after it again, but Tigers have got numbers at the contest once more. And Dustin Martin comes out brandishing the footy and gets involved again. This time he's caught. He got the handball away, but he gave it straight up to Lynch. Jenkins presents up, takes a 70 out.
He's full of uncertainty. Handballs to a man who's cornered Matt Crouch. Good enough to bully his way through, and then off his right boot control it to Taylor Walker. And if ever a man needs to kick a goal, it's here and now with Taylor Walker, but this is the toughest of tough kicks from here, and he'll know that.
The best way for Richmond to win this flag is to have this lead so they don't have to have a heart attack all the last quarter.
Well, if one team, one club could have suffered it, it would have been Richmond, but they don't look like they're going to be vulnerable here today.
They're going to double their score, Adelaide.
Walker to the square. Jacobs is down there, so was Jenkins. Cameron was able to snaffle it, but his kick was smothered, and it's through for a behind.
Got to say, guys, very reminiscent of 1990 Collingwood Essendon. They've just been as hungry as the Pies were then. The other mob hasn't turned up.
It's exactly the scoreboard I thought that would be around the other way.
Yeah, me too.
They've kicked one goal since quarter time, Adelaide.
Extraordinary, isn't it? We all believe in Richmond now. It's taken a few of us a little while.
Here's Broad taking the mark at half back.
There you go, mate.
Looks to the member's side. So down the line he goes. Rioli might jump at this and didn't quite take it. It was a fair effort though. Grigg. He's under the pump, and that one is sailing out the full free kick Crows.
This will be the greatest game that any Richmond supporter has ever seen in their lives.
Yeah.
But it's been a very ordinary grand final.
But doesn't it just back up the better defensive team will always better the best? And this is a classical case. That's why I went for Richmond, is because of that back. They've just got a good defence, and in finals it counts so much.
Rory Sloane with the footy. He kicks it up inside 50 to Lynch. In from the side, couldn't take the mark, and it is a free kick going to the Tigers. Broad takes the advantage.
He's run 100 metres.
He ran a very long way.
He would have beaten old Menadue.
And puts it down the wing. Talia trying to smash it forward, but comes to Jack Rebold. Handball out in front of Lambert. If it sits for him, he's on here. He might go for it himself. Takes one bounce, takes a second bounce. He looks inboard. He'll do the team thing to Prestia, who snaps, and goals for Richmond.
Party time.
The Tigers are eating the Crows alive at the MCG. And they are absolutely smashing them. 39 points is the margin. 13-8-86, Adelaide 5-11-41.
This is amazing. They've beaten him twice for 2 goals. They're just dominating. You see Brendan Gale, the CEO.
Come on, Benny, smile.
I think he's in disbelief as well. He can't believe it.
We had him on today, and he was.
Richardson.
Yeah, look at Richo.
Benny's crying her eyes out. Benny's just trying not to
cry.
He can't believe it.
He's quite emotional this morning. He said he came into the ground and he looked up. He had a bit of a moment. He had to just hold himself together. He couldn't believe they'd got here. Well, how they're feeling now, these Tiger people. Amazing. Jack Link's jerky scoreboard. Feed your wild side. 13-8-86 to 5-11-41. Crows have got control of it from the restart. Goes to Rory Laird, and one of their best players, as he has been all year. Finds a path through the middle. Goes short to Brad Crouch. He takes them out wide again for Riley Knight.
Story of the day, Hudson.
50-metre penalty, actually, I think.
Yeah, it is.
But even if he hadn't have, look at the style. Find the pockets at the MCG. That's where Border used to hit fours.
Don Pike's going to take a lot of the responsibility for this, Mick. The way he's set up.
So Brad Crouch directly in front. 45 metres out is where he'll start. He'll finish at about 30 to 35 and should put this through, which he does. So a belated goal for Adelaide, 6-11-47. Richmond 13-8-86. 8 minutes gone in this final term. And the margin is now 39 points. Gaz and Spud for Jinhang. Quality LED lighting, you can Jinhang your habit.
Well, they've only had 6 less clearances with the dominant ruckman, but getting back to the ball use on those ruckmen too, Mick. Nankervis has had 5 more disposals than Jacobs. I didn't think that coming into the game.
No.
Jacobs won the hit-outs, but Nankervis around the ground's been outstanding.
Well, he's been able to get around behind the ball and let Jack Rebold do the ruck work in the front 50, which means it saves his time and he can actually have a bit of a breather. It's a very good tactic because you're not going to beat Jacobs in the ruck, but you can beat him on the ground.
The margin 39 points in favour of the Tigers. Back in the middle we go. Nankervis takes it cleanly out of the ruck, trying to get the little kick away. And there was Graham desperately after it. Butler, it's going to be Cameron though to clear it for Adelaide. He puts it inside the 50. Grimes goes back with a flight. And there's a free kick, a hold on Taylor Walker.
Gee, I know it's a free kick to Walker, but what about Eddie Betts? Grimes has kept Betts to 5 touches.
But they've left him in a vulnerable position. Betts, if you've got pace and you can mark against Betts, you're going to beat him. Now, so what are you going to do as a coach? You've got to bring that player up the ground, because Grimes is not an up-the-ground player, but Betts, I've seen him in the centre square.
Turn him around.
Yep.
So big Tex Walker for back-to-back goals for Adelaide. Kicks from 48 metres and steers it straight through the middle for 2 goals for Taylor Walker, the captain, on the SEN Jack Link's Jerky scoreboard. Jack Link's beef jerky feeds your wild side. So the margin 33 now. Adelaide go to 7-11-53. Richmond 13-8-86.
They're kicking another one here, Gaz.
I hope they do. Damien Hardwick's got his hands on his head. Just a few nerves.
I want to try and keep everyone involved in it, but no one's leaving the ground. They are all over it. That was just a stupid free kick from Asprey, who hasn't made a mistake all day, basically.
So ball back in the middle. Jacobs against Nankervis. Sun out at the MCG. It's as bright as it's been all day. 10 minutes into the final term. Jacobs hands it off to Brad Crouch. It was delightful. Sky ball. Can Otten get to it? The wrestle is on no rants with the fist. Falls for Lynch though. He's caught straight away and cornered. Douglas takes his turn, but he's tackled instantly. The relentless Tigers, the pressure is still at full volume, and will have a throw in about 30 metres around from goal.
The key to that though, they've kicked 2 goals this quarter, Adelaide. They get a winner centre clearance that keeps in there because they've got an even contribution from their forwards. Pikey's got a few questions to ask himself for a start before someone asks him a question.
Jacobs out muscles Nankervis at the ruck contest. Got away with it without giving away the free. Left foot kick bounces through for a minor score. And Richmond 13-8-86. Adelaide now 7-12-54. 32 points is the margin.
Ball back into play. Oh, Grimes went for a spectacular loop. He couldn't take the mark though. Matt Crouch all over him. McIntosh not giving him an inch, and the umpire will come in and ball it up on the members' wing.
He's been Adelaide's best player, Matt Crouch. 31 disposals, 5 clearances, 4 tackles.
His brother won plenty of hard footy, but as you said, his ball use has been ordinary.
Here's a chance for Cotchin, wrapped up by Brad Crouch. Flex to Seagsman, who's been caught. Captured there by Nankervis. Ball will come in and ball it up.
Deer in the headlight moments, Seagsman. He's handball to players under pressure.
Even now, their setup here is really restrictive for them to go forward.
So knocked down. Graham, been magnificent. He goes again, Graham. Couldn't take it cleanly though. Brad to Matt Crouch, who kicks the half forward. Lynch couldn't cling onto the mark. And it's going to be Greg to clear it. He goes to the wing. Well trapped that time. Good work by Townsend. It's been good. Prestia looks up. He goes to centre half forward. Caddy can get out the back here. He's running for it. There'll be a free though. It's going to go the way of Richmond. Hardigan thought it was him.
But with his foot maybe.
It is going to be a free kick to the Tigers to be taken by Caddy.
He's actually back into him. It's probably, well, it's either that or a free kick against Caddy, really.
Yeah.
Well, what about his story? Moving from Geelong, who was seen as one of the most successful clubs, to Richmond.
Originally from Gold Coast too, Matty, don't forget.
Yep, so 3rd club for Josh Caddy. He moves in from 49 metres, starts that one out to the left, and that's where it stays, and through for a point. It's quarter for the Australian Diamond Company. We do the right thing by you because it matters to us. adc.com.au. The margin 33 in favour of Richmond.
Short kick in. Little handball goes McKay's way. Forced to rush the left foot kick for Seedsman, who wants to go after taking the mark, but just held up in his tracks. Looking for a run from behind, looking for something. He decides to sink the slipper. Otten against 3 Tigers. He's got no chance. Alex Rance again.
Oh, what a game.
The Norm Smith-Barney is going to be... I wouldn't like to be doing it today. There's no absolute clear-cut stand.
He's in the mix.
He's a big chance. Castagna flies and can't mark. Here's Brad Crouch trying to create something off half-back. A handball to Harding. Now they've got a path to plot on that outer side. If he turns quickly, Jake Kelly, Atkins gives him something. Can take this mark at half-back. Further afield is Douglas and Taylor Walker, but he refuses to press go straight away. Now he kicks long. Walker, the challenge will come from Sloane, but it wasn't much of a challenge. Walker takes it. They've worked the southern side. He played on a little involuntarily. Kicks it to half-forward. Can Eddie fly? He kicks the legs up and takes the mark. Sneaky little handball to Charlie Cameron, but he is shut down straight away, holding the ball. Brilliant stuff from the Tiger defence, and this time it's Shane Edwards getting back to help.
Yeah, story of the day. One of the few occasions those little fellas looked dangerous and just got tackled and chased down.
As Shane Edwards goes to the outer side wing, Revolt is able to take a good follow-up, and then he kicks it. There's no one at centre-half forward, so the race is on, and Rioli's got some wheels. He gets there, Brown, he gets out of his tackle, Rioli goes again, now confronted by Lever. Somehow got a little kick away into the forward pocket, Townsend and McKay, and it's over. Good effort by Rioli. And we're going to have a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for the Tigers.
I'd love to know the amount of times that Adelaide have been able to move the footy from their back half to the forward half through the two sides of the centre square. I can't remember it. Cochin just denied him that for the last 30 minutes. He just goes and defends the middle of the ground, but it hasn't happened at all.
Revolt doing the ruck work. Got the tap down. Castagna wore one. Crunch for Hooley. Got a handball away on the 50. For Lambert. To Martin. Martin from the left forward pocket, a high ball back to Townsend. He forced to spoil. McKay trying his heart out, kicks it to centre half back. Cameron ever dangerous, shakes off Ellis, and the run from behind Douglas. Straight lines through the middle, two bounces Douglas, and then straight into trouble. Had it, lost it, ball dislodged in the tackle rather than a free kick. Comes to Cameron, he places it wide to Lynch. They've built gradually, tried to craft a kick across his body, but Sloane on the job, as dogged as you like. The big red-bearded Tiger defender draws the plaudits from the Richmond faithful, and we'll have another throw-in. 13-9, 87 Richmond, 7-12-54 Adelaide. There's 10.5 minutes to go.
He's limping off the ground.
Well, he's worked hard.
Yeah, and then he
did his job.
It just worked his backside off.
Ball back into play. Here's Edwards on the end of the chain, and then he kicks to centre half forward, running with a flight is Townsend.
Been great.
Outstanding on Lever, guys. Lever averages 5 intercept marks. He's only had 2 for the game, Lever.
He's just engaged from the opening bounce.
He chips it short. Bashahula gets in good position and takes the mark.
Bash has had a great day as well. He probably, what's he had? He's coming up for his 23rd. He's been free, which is not his fault, by the way. He's played that role beautifully. He'd be in contention. He'll get a vote, I reckon.
I think that's the end of Rioli for the day, boys. Limping really heavily.
He won't worry.
No.
Yep. He's been great, Rioli. So good last week as well to get them in. Watching Bashahuli on the runway from 45 metres, and a miss to the right-hand side through for a point on the SEN Jack Link's Jerky scoreboard. Jack Link's beef jerky, feed your wild side. 13-10-88 Richmond, 7-12-54 Adelaide.
9.5 minutes.
Dangerous kick in. It's been marked by guess who? Jacob Townsend.
What a story.
Jim Watson, the tear in his eye, I can see the wisp. It's like a long-lost son.
Doom used to rave about him when he did his work up in the Giants. He said never met a tougher footballer. He thought his AFL career was over just 2 months ago. He was going to have to go and get a real job, a trade. He talked...
won the Liston medal, Hudson.
Yeah, quite emotionally about the troubles he's had to overcome with a stutter. It made him nervous in public, but he certainly hasn't fluffed his line since he's got his chance. And Jacob Townsend from 30 metres out has put it through. It's a murder of the Crows. The Tigers lead by 40 points. And there's 9 glorious minutes to go.
Gaz, just on Townsend, I'd be giving him in the votes. He's kicked 2. He's kept Lever, who was outstanding last week, one of the best players on the ground, out of the game. We know what Lever impact he has. He's the guy that starts the chain of disposals for Adelaide, and he's played a selfless role. Beat him, he's kicked 2 himself.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been huge. I don't know if he's going to swap the votes. He'll be in their best players. But he's. But I'm not watching him now. He's still going at Lever. And don't forget, those Richmond forwards have been outnumbered too because of the way that the game's been played. So He's had to work so hard.
We go again in the middle. Matt Crouch's little kick came to Knight, who was tackled, and Dusty was taken high. And Martin will take the free kick. Position 25 coming up for Dusty.
Wonder how they're going on 5AA today. They wouldn't be having a great day, would they?
I was just watching them before. I almost dived under the desk.
I think they've shut up shop.
It's McIntosh to half forward again, and Caddy takes the mark.
I got Cam Mooney sitting in the box here. He's been in this position a few times. This is party time for these blokes. These are the moments where you know you've won a premiership, and now you're just sitting there going, gee, when I watch the video.
Here's Martin. Well, just getting back to Martin, he's had 25 disposals, 19 contested, and 6 clearances.
And a goal.
He's in the argument, don't worry.
He could have the greatest year of any player ever.
Caddy from outside the 50. Lets loose with a kick, and it'll come off hands, and it's over for a boundary throw-in, in fact, in the right forward pocket off the behind post.
I don't think there's any player in the history of the game that's won a Brownlow, Norm Smith, and a premiership in the same year.
No, they have not.
They've done it in different years. Simon Black.
So he's won it, is he?
Well, no, he hasn't won it. If he does win it, Mick.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, if he does.
Ball back into play. We'll get Mick's opinion on who he thinks has been best for the Norm Smith at the moment. Maybe at this next stoppage. Mick, holding the ball. Free kick. Going the way of the Tigers, and they'll have a shot at goal from the forward pocket.
Wow. Who are you going for, Michael?
Well, it's been so dominant that Matt Crouch, even though he's the highest position getter and done a lot with it, I'm going to be right out of left field here. I thought Presti has done a terrific job. I think Martin's attracted a lot of attention. Hurley up the half back line, I think, has been outstanding. Nankervis has been terrific. So
here's Butler with the outside of the boot, and he's put it through from the pocket. Oh, of course he did. Have a look at them get around him as well.
Wow.
The celebration is incredible, and it's going to go on for days at Tigerland. Just being told 100,021. We're seeing some pictures of Brendan Gale in tears.
Yeah,
he's finally cracked.
He's lost it.
That's the one that broke him. Peggy had broken, but Benny was trying to be stoic there, and now it's broken.
He's gone.
Good on these. This is what it's all about.
This is with his brother Michael Gale.
What footy's all about.
He's where Butchie Gale, who played Fitzroy in Richmond.
Dan Connors.
Dan Jackson.
Dan Jackson it was, yeah.
It's been a great turnaround of this football club. Brendan Gale and Peggy O'Neill.
Jude Donnelly there from the AFL. She worked the Tigers for 5 years.
Yeah, she saw the camera was around. She was around.
Richo, he's lost it.
Kick goes inside 50.
Come on, Richo.
Come on, Richo.
Asprey gets the handball away to Flosdan, who kicks out to the wing. And a wide kick. Kane Lambert, he's been outstanding for it. And there's so many
another one.
Unlikely stars for Richmond through this year.
Probably going to be the hardest Norm.
I'd go Martin. He's had 6 clearances. He's attracted a lot of attention. Contested positions 19. I think it's pretty hard. And he never wastes the ball.
And Rance would be in this.
Just on Rance, guys. He's had 6 intercept marks out of his 6 marks. Rododo.
And they're in the forward 50 again. The Tigers bubbling away.
And 38 spoils.
Butler stymied that. Now Dusty Martin. Dusty's missed it. Rusty Dusty that time.
That was going to be the moment.
That was going to be it.
That was going to be your finest moment.
From memory, they come around the 5-minute mark. There's 6 minutes to go for the votes, from memory.
Yeah, right.
You've got till the end if you want it.
Do you?
Yep.
Back into play. Seedsman there working it out hard again. Kick charge down. Great work by Caddy. Ball comes to Reebok. Can he do something special? He'll do the team thing. He centres it up. Dustin Martin. This time Dusty. Round the body. Martin. He's got that one. Arms in the air, KB style. He's kicked the goal, Dustin Martin. Oh, what a moment for Dusty. What a season for Dustin Martin. A Brownlow medal, a premiership, a chance to win a Norm Smith. And Richmond are 53 points up.
Well, I think that sealed the deal. Mick, you talked about it. 27 disposals, 21 of those contested. 6 clearances, a couple of tackles, 8 score involvements, and 2 goals too. I think it's all over. I think he's won it.
You reckon anyone in the ground is worried about the fact they're in yellow jumpers and black?
No, not at all. They couldn't get. There's Damien Hardwick. Have a look at him.
What a story for Damien Hardwick. What a transformation of this football club. It's been astonishing, really, and they're marking everything now. Flostone takes it.
Well, he started in the worst possible way, didn't he, Nick Flostone?
He's been good since then,
a fumble and gave him a goal, but he's been solid since.
They just managed 3 goals since quarter time.
Well, they're the other story. I mean, we'll get to Adelaide after the siren, but this is as disappointing a day on the last most important day of the year as you can have, nearly.
We talked, and no excuse, McGovern and Smith really hurt them today, and that take nothing away from the Tigers, but they've been listless and uncompetitive. That's been the big one for me.
It hasn't been a physical grand final spot. There's been no great.
Well, Jenkins, look at the size of Jenkins and Walker. Assert yourself, you can't win the ball. Bowl a couple of those little Richmond guys over.
Taylor Walker's got a mark, and he's 60 metres out from goal. I don't think it's going to be able to be. Oh, and up goes big Nan Curvis and takes the mark in the goal square. Glenn Cameron group mark of the night.
There's mixed boy Nan Curvis. Outstanding.
And he sinks the slipper, sends him outside 50, and Lever comes full body, takes the mark. He's committed to playing on, pokes it into the pocket, and Cameron takes it.
He's off.
No, Mick's presenting the medal to Damien Hardwick for Jock McHale. So
well done.
Mick's just
well done, Michael.
Good stuff, Mick. Left our coverage.
Mick off. Took off.
Seen enough. So here's Charlie Cameron. The belated one for the Crows, which he might have slaughtered. I think he has. He's put it through. Quite come together. He got injured early after he did look a little bit threatening at the start of the game. 16-11, 107 Richmond. 8-12-60 Adelaide. The yellow and black chant.
Gee, this is. I can remember there was around 22 last year. They got beat by 113 points.
Yeah, by Sydney. They won the last quarter that day too by about 2 goals.
They were kicking the ball sideways all year, and people say, "Gee, the style's not great." And gee, they've just played a defensive strangle the last 9 weeks.
They kicked 100 points again today.
100.
As I said, this is exactly the opposite of the way I thought it'd be at the end of this. But Don Pike in Adelaide, structurally we've been critical of him all year that he won't make a change during the course of a game and he's too set in his ways. They haven't given themselves the best chance today.
No game plan B, Gaz.
Here's Matt Crouch, his handball charge down. Graham getting involved, and then Cochin kicks the centre half forward, and the mark has been taken by Hardigan.
It's a bit like John Longbow and Sydney. Just allowed this outnumber to persist all night. It was on that occasion. Didn't give Buddy a chance.
No jobs on the Richmond players. You know, Damien Hardwick's had about 3 or 4 jobs out there, and they've all succeeded. They've been hunted today.
Hardigan just burnt that kick straight to Nan Curvis, who takes the mark, the big ruckman. What a story for him.
Oh, what a great game he's played.
In for Sydney.
3.5 minutes, Tiger supporters. 3.5 minutes.
Have a look at the crowd.
Enjoying it, just soaking it up, knowing they've got a flag. Their first flag since 1980. Well, we hope to have a chat to KB too after the game. He'll be absolutely pumped. Ball hits the deck. Edwards. Dustin Martin again. Handball to Prestia. He's been enormous. Outside the 50. Unguarded goal square. And it misses. To the left-hand side and through for a point on the SEN Jack Link's Jerky scoreboard. Jack Link's Beef Jerky feeds your wild side. Margin 48.
And they carve their way out of defence, the Crows this time. Brad Crouch with a handball to Douglas. Lever keeps on coming. He was going to handball, and in the end it's a little chip.
Gee, they've gone wide, haven't they? All day long they've gone wide.
No run from behind. Laird's the only one.
Look in the middle of the ground though. The Richmond blocked it up. They clogged it up.
To Greenwood, it chips it inboard to Brad Crouch. And now a hurried kick from Matt Crouch, the centre half forward. Get away from Broad. Cameron, still a possibility here. Tries to duck through the tackle of Rance. Great back up though from Broad. Another terrific story. Took him a long time to get his chance at AFL footy. Mature age recruit.
He's from
West Australia.
Grimes been sensational. Dylan Grimes. Asprey's been fantastic. The whole back six.
Charlie Cameron's probably been their only dangerous forward. He's been 2-on-1 all game. He can hold his head up pretty high.
Richmond by 48. Ball thrown back into play. Hacked forward by Douglas. Going to be Grimes to trap it on the bounce. Eddie is lurking, applying pressure. It's out. The end of the boundary throw in.
7 disposals, Eddie Betts. Grimes. He's had his number for the last 4 or 5 years, Dylan Grimes. Had a lot of hamstrings early days.
Dusty's gone to full forward. I think one last goal inside the last 20 seconds of this game, that'll just about top off the greatest season in the history.
The cherry on top.
They scored it for the Australian Diamond Company. We do the right thing by you because it matters to us. adc.com.au. Ball back into play. Griggs kick smothered. And they all pile on. The umpire will ball it up again inside Adelaide's 50.
Look at the interchange bench. They're hugging each other down there. They know.
Yeah, Mark Opie there, footy manager for 20 years.
Oh, look, Richo's a mess.
Damien Hardwick about to make his way.
I had even money to try. Well done, Richo.
There's Dustin Martin, was able to get the handball on to Townsend.
Dusty goal still on here.
Kelly, Hardigan, they sorted out the Crows. Then to McKay, who handballs over the top to Douglas. And Douglas now with nothing really to go to, so it goes sideways to Sloane.
All the coaches are on the boundary line too.
Yep. And he goes inside the 50 and the marker's been taken by Asprey. Watch Dimmer Hardwick. He's about to make his way up to the bench.
What about Neil Barman? And they got the Midas touch. Barney.
Cochin takes a mark. He's about to lift the cup from Richo. What about a mark?
There's
Damien.
Dimmer's got Ellis. Have a look at that.
Huge roar erupting right next to me, guys, as Dimmer comes out.
Wow.
Big bear hug for Ellis down there as Damien Hardwick comes up to the bench.
It, Dimmer.
Oh, they're great scenes, aren't they? This is what footy and what sport is all about.
The boot stunner, Drack's been there for 50 years as a boot stunner.
So many people are going to be happy.
Dimmer and Daniel Rioli, they've spent so much time together.
Kick to the wing.
Guts Opie down there.
Here's Matt Crouch. Got the handball away to Brad Crouch, who now kicks it to half forward. And Taylor Walker presents up and takes the mark for the Crows 60 out.
What about Justin Lepage?
Oh, yeah.
He was with this time last year.
On the scrap heap.
Oh, what a 12 months he's had. He said, is this for real?
Short pass to Riley Knight.
Tim Livingston, Damien Hardwick's right-hand man. They were together from day dot. As soon as Dimmer got the job, he brought in Tim Livingston from Xavier College as the Xavier coach, and what a job he's done, Tim Livingston. Outstanding. A bit like Fagan to Clarkson.
So Riley Knight to kick what could be the last score of the game. It's fallen short, as the Crows have today. The mark not paid, it was touched off the boot. So it's going to be out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in, and there's only seconds remaining to the biggest yellow and black party you have ever seen.
Get it going, Hudson.
Tigerland going to take over Melbourne. The throw-in takes place in the pocket. The countdown's onto the siren. We wait for the roar. And there it is! For the strong and the bold, who have been taunted and traumatised for over 37 years. This one is for you. Richmond, yes, Richmond, our premiers. 5:13 p.m. on Saturday, September 30, 2017 is officially Tiger time.
We never meet until the final siren's gone. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tiger.
This quarter of SEN Football was brought to you by the experts in diamonds. Go to adc.com.au.
Well, the rest of the Richmond list are out there. That's as big a reaction as you've seen, Spud. They are going nuts.
This is reminiscent of Collingwood goes 1990. Probably bigger.
Rightfully so.
Probably bigger. Have a look at some of the stories and the subplots. That song, how big is that?
Dustin Martin just found Damien Hardwick. There's your photo.
Wow.
Front page, back page, middle page. They are embracing in the middle of the ground. This is unbelievable.
Neil Barnes walking around said, this is easy. Old Barmy. Everywhere I go, I win a flag. Richo's around. He's ecstatic, Richo. Wow. And then you look at the other team. Well, look at Adelaide over there.
Ain't no second place in this. See Wispy Watson down there with the captain, Trent Cotchin.
Might see if we can have a listen to some of these interviews courtesy of Channel 7 very shortly, but the emotion boiling over out there. And what a transformation of this football club. What an incredible story this is. We thought last year was the most amazing fairy tale, but it's just about matches it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just looking for Patrick Keane down there. There he is on the wing. He's just adding up the votes on the Toyota emblem there. He's just
his calculator.
Yeah, I think someone texted him the last vote, so
it's going to be close and tight.
Very,
the man at the moment might just scoop the lot.
No, I think so. I think he deserves it.
Well, no one would begrudge him, that's for sure.
It'll be the greatest year. A couple of Richmond supporters have come on the ground down here in front of us. They've had a few months of the sponsors.
You could have waited another half an hour, boys.
I was just watching those two blokes. They just strolled up through the tunnel like nothing was going on.
You're not going to see the cup now.
Oh, no, come on, guys. Keep it together, Richard supporters.
These are great scenes. This is what footy's all about. If you've been involved in a footy club and they haven't won one for a long period of time, Spud, which you and I both have, you can only imagine what would be happening down here. As I said, Cam Mooney, one of our own here, he's lived through it. It's just, I don't know, it's relief, it's ecstasy, I would imagine.
It's hard to believe. There's all the assistant coaches down there. Look, they don't get talked about, but you've got Ben Rutten, who was an Adelaide champion, coaching the defence. Rance, one of the great years also, All-Australian captain. He'll be in the voting for the Norm Smith. Whether he gets it or not is another thing, but holy Toledo.
Normally this goes on for a little while. It is unabated.
This song will never stop, I don't think.
They just find another body and wrap their arms around it. What I want you to see is whether or not there's black jumpers out there with yellow stripes.
No, they're not going to change their set.
No, that's fair enough. Why change? They're a good luck charm.
Well, they better not.
This is the Tiger of New.
They better not. They've got the little mascots out there in the clash strip. So
got the binoculars on the support staff too, Spud. A lot of people that I wouldn't know.
No, Uncle Fester's down there. He's the big bald-headed guy. He was a trainer for 20 years. He's now the property steward. He'd have wood. You've got Drac, the boot starter. He's been the boot starter for 50 years. You've got Mark Guts Opie, the guy with the big guts. He's been the footy manager since 1987. There's Teddy Soderblom. There's guys been there for 30 or 40 years, and they're probably thinking when they're involved, a couple of those guys in their Premiership in 80, and they'd be just pinching themselves at the moment. Dan Richardson.
Of course, he's had a massive role in it.
His old man. There's Peggy O'Neill running out to Barmy.
Where are they? Where's Barmy? I can't find
Barmy's right on the forward 50 arc there with Peggy O'Neill now.
Brendan Garland, Harford with a massive hug.
What a great effort. What a lot of pressure those two guys run in particular. Running the club this time 12 months ago.
But your 19-year plan has finally come to fruition too.
Well, the foundations I built, Hutto, were very solid. They were a bit shaky there for a while, but no, look, as I said, I spent 5 years here, Hutto. We tried hard, we didn't do it, but I can tell you what, there's not a more passionate club for all the right reasons.
Look at this, Dusty and Brendan Gale now with a massive hug with Jack Revolt.
Well, Benny Gale was always destined for AFL land, if you like. There's Don Pike and Dimmer Hardwick just embracing Classy from Don Pike.
Chrissy Newman down there, spend a thought for him. He's played more games of AFL footy than anyone in the history of the game. Never to win a final, and he couldn't quite hang on. Father Time got him, Chris Newman. I think it's 270 games or something. And there's Dimmer on the Chemist Warehouse. Oh my God. They'll put a statue of him next to Jack Dyer with those big calf muscles. Damien Hardwick. And he's tasted Premiership success wherever he's gone. Port, Essendon, under Alistair Clarkson at Hawthorn.
I don't want to jump ahead here, but I just saw Patrick Keane in long conversation with Dustin Martin.
Right.
Well done, Hutto. Well spotted.
What about the fans, Gary? I mean, they have been ridiculed for years. They've been the punchline to a footy joke for years.
Just watching Trent Cotchin, who's he's just separated himself from the throng and has gone over to Taylor Walker and the Adelaide boys. Well, on that supporter thing, man, all I can give you is your own personal experience, and I'm thinking here, if this was Melbourne, how would you feel? How would I feel as a supporter? And it's sort of words don't describe stuff. That's what it is. Because it's your life. It's part of. It's an enormous part of your life. For some people, it's your distraction from maybe not a great life, but on the weekend it comes and you can go and support the side that you love. And I don't have that sort of passion because, I don't know, because you play, maybe you don't, but gee, when you see the reaction here, you can understand it. And I'm looking at Matty Richardson, and
he's in shock.
He's invested like a few others.
He would have dreamt of getting on the Premiership dais as a player, and he's still going to do it. And presenting the cup to Cochin and Damien Hardwick. So what a great feeling for Richo.
He carried the...
Gil McLaughlin's down there embracing Trent Cochin, and he's looking for Damien Hardwick at the moment. And
I reckon now you've got to get on with it, boys, because
that's enough.
There'll be celebration time after this. And the Crows players are out there just sitting there sucking it all up, and that's the worst feeling in the world. That's something I can talk about.
Adelaide, we've got legendary Mark Rashudo next to us.
He's not too impressed, old Roo.
They're playing the song again.
Flat as a pancake.
I don't think the Adelaide, I know we can just dissect it afterwards, but
I think you're right. I think we need
to have a great day.
I think we need to give respect to Adelaide. Let them get off the oval at some stage.
Well, there'd be the time commit. Channel 7, I guess, would go to the ad break and then come back to the presentation. So, although Shebeki is in control of the music here and he's a Richmond man, so he's probably just to keep playing it.
He had it there before the game, Hutto. Yeah. The song was 2 minutes late when Richmond ran out. I think he got a little bit excited. I think the end might have come off with old Sylvester, but he'd be pretty excited too, wouldn't he?
He certainly would. And they're still arm in arm out there. So many of the Tiger players. It looks like we're shortly going to have the presentations. Our match review for Charles Tyrrett, where you can get 3 premium business shirts for $99, including delivery. Go to ctshirts.com.au/SEN.
I've heard just on a sideline, Gaz, Carosella is going to get interviewed after the grand final by Gold Coast, so it won't do his chances any harm.
He should be.
Well, he wanted to get. They wanted to interview him. He said, "No, I've got a coach there, so I don't care if I miss out." But they said, "We'll wait and see what happens." So I think I'm led to believe Tuesday is his day to present.
Dusty just upended the Gatorade bottle over Dimmer.
On Dimmer.
Well, he game style and the way they want to play, he set that up. So good on him. He deserves that right.
Let's have a listen to Trent Cochin on Channel 7, and we'll come back in a moment for the presentation.
Trent, congratulations to you. What an amazing performance from the team today.
Yeah, I think today's performance echoes what we've been about all year, and that's 22 contributors. I mean, Dusty's pretty special, but the guys have been outstanding.
And that roar today too. You go and enjoy it.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, Jim.
So quick, short and sweet there from old Soda Stream. Here's Jack Revold as they try and marshal the Tigers into position.
Jack, how good is this, mate?
It's unbelievable. So proud of the guys. Not only the guys out here in the jumpers, but you see how much it means this group with the guys out here in suits that didn't get a game today.
Mate, what about your coach, Damien Hardwick? Just tell us something about him again, mate. What was he like this week leading into the game?
Just stay the same, mate. We had a process in place as we've had. We've learned a lot of lessons over the year. We've had that same process. Who would have thought, mate? We finished 13th last year. Beaten by 110 points in the last round, mate. And now we're fucking premiers.
You can say whatever you want, mate. Well done. You're a legend. You're a legend.
We're going to present the cup, Richard!
Boys getting carried away. Fantastic.
No, it's...
a couple of Adelaide supporters text me, and I've got a couple of Adelaide friends who support. Not impressed with the way that that game was coached. No changes, didn't give themselves a chance. So that's going to be a point of some discussion, but down the track, because now we're concentrating on the victors. To the victors go the spoils, and the spoils are going to be run long into the night.
Here's Craig Mills.
As we commence our formal presentations, we firstly would like to acknowledge and thank the AFL's premier partner, Toyota, represented today by Mr. David Butner. David, thank you to the team at Toyota for your outstanding support of our great game. I'd also like to congratulate today's field, boundary and goal umpires on their contribution to today's grand final. It's been a tough day at the office for the Crows. And I'm going to invite their captain, Tex Walker, to the podium to say a few words.
Taylor Walker up to the microphone.
Firstly, congratulations, Richmond. Too good. Thanks to the sponsors. And sorry, Crows fans, we couldn't get it done, but thank you very much for travelling. Thank you.
Man, a feud's always
We
been
look
a
forward to
feud.
seeing the Crows back in action in 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, would you now please welcome James Hurd to present the Norm Smith Medal to the player adjudged as best of field in the 2017 Toyota AFL Grand Final.
Thank you, Craig. The winner of the 2017 Norm Smith Medal is Dustin Martin from the Richmond Football Club.
We'll never be here like it.
He's got the lot.
He's got the lot, Hutto.
Well, Ralph should have waited another couple of weeks. he's worth $2. He is worth $2 million.
Unbeatable, he is.
Good on Hurdy. That is a good moment.
Great.
First of all, just thank the Crows boys for a good game. Thanks to the fans for coming out. Yellow and black!
Yep.
He'll need a minder, guys. Dustin, yellow and black, he said. He'll need a minder for the next 6
Dustin
months.
Martin.
He's
Well, it's
got
every
one.
young footballer's dream to be on the grand final dais on the last Saturday in September. And ladies and gentlemen, it is with much pleasure that we welcome 22 winners of NAB AFL Oz Kicker of the Year competition from the NAB AFL Oz Kick program, who will now present medallions to the players of the Richmond Football Club. Starting with number 1, Nick Vlauston.
Well, he had a nervous start. He just coughed one up. Eddie kicked the goal, and he must have thought, oh no. And then not long after that, he struggled a bit, but in the end, he settled. And
number 2, Dylan Grimes.
Kept Eddie Betts' goal the second round 6, and he kicked us 1 goal too today.
No, he was outstanding, Hutto. 5. Forget his disposals. The job he did in Eddie Betts was outstanding.
Number 3, Dion Prestia.
Well, he'd be very happy with the move he's made. Thought he was solid. I think his final series was fantastic. Great pick-up for him.
25 disposals today for Preston.
Number 4, Dustin Martin.
28 disposals, 21 of those contested, 6 clearances, tackles, 3 inside 50s, 9 score involvements, 2 goals too. Norm Smith.
Number 5, Brandon Ellis.
Yeah, he had a good day too, Brandon Ellis. 14 touches, gone back, just became a really solid member of that back 6.
Number 6, Sean Grigg.
Outstanding game, just one of those players that you can rely on. He's had 17 disposals, used the ball well, kicked a goal when the game was really hot.
Former Carlton player, of course.
Number 8, Jack Revels.
Well, he started like a bomb, Jack. He just kicked 3 behinds instead of 3 goals. He could have set him right. He ended up with 2 goals, 3. Been fantastic.
Number 10, Shane Edwards.
Salutes his cousin Matty Revolt too.
Yeah.
Well, Shane Edwards, he's been through a lot of hard times at Richmond. He'll be absolutely delighted.
10 score involvements, 8 inside 50s. He was
Number
one of the better
12,
players.
David Asprey.
Rock solid. Hardly gets beaten, David Asprey. Rance never gets beaten. He hardly gets beaten. Went to Taylor Walker
Number
early.
14, Basher Hooley.
Second in the Norm Smith medal with 10 votes, Basher Hooley.
Yeah.
Dusty got 13, and you think about what happened to him during the year.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been lower at that
Number
stage.
17,
but finishes on a high.
Daniel Rioli.
Well, the great nephew of Morris Rioli, the Rioli name, outstanding. Put some Pat's boy, obviously from Darwin and before that.
Number 18, Alex Rance.
We've got a couple of votes too.
Just 2 votes he got in the Norm Smith medal.
I would have thought he might have got more, but it's irrelevant. He's just the modern defender of the modern era. He was
All-Australian captain.
Number 21, Jacob Townsend.
What a great job on Lever. A great job. 2 goals, kept Lever at bay all day. Great team performance.
Number 22, Josh Caddy.
Good pick-up, Caddy. He kicked the goal, could have had a couple, came back in the side after a hamstring late. Been really important through the finals. Just a big body, just complimented Jack forward.
Number 23, Kane Lambert.
Underrated player, 22 disposals, 7 score involvements, a goal. 4 tackles, 7 inside 50s.
Finished off the season
Number
really
25,
strong.
Toby Nankervis.
Well, Mick had him marked down as maybe his Norm Smith medalist, which surprised some of us, but he was great. He did have a very good game against a great opponent.
Emergency in the grand final last year for Sydney. Now
Number
Premiership
33,
player with the Tigers.
Camden McIntosh.
Very underrated player. He's just a role player, McIntosh. Didn't get a lot of the ball, used it well, and just gave the midfield some relief.
Number 34, Jack Graham.
Look at this kid. He got a vote. He got a vote to Norm Smith. He kicked 3 goals. He's a South Australian under-18 captain this time last year, and just grew up loving the Crows. He's jagged 3.
Number 35, Nathan Broad.
Just underrated player again. A lot of leg speed. Yeah, that's why he's in the team. He does a job. He played down back and just very underrated.
Number 40, Dan Butler.
Did his job, Dan Butler. He laid 4 tackles, which is, he had 9 possessions, 4 tackles, forward pressure.
Number 46, Jason Castagna.
Another one of the mosquito fleet in the forward half. They just do the job. You know, they said their forward line was too small, but again, 4 tackles and a goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 9, the captain, Trent Cotchin.
That rivals Dusty for the biggest roar.
Yeah, it does. What a great final series.
Well, his last final before this year was an absolute stinker.
Ladies and gentlemen,
little
would you
awkward
now
hug
please
on the
welcome
young
to the
Oz
podium Michael Malthouse to present the Jock McHale Medal to the coach of the 2017 Toyota AFL Premiership team, Damien Hardwick of the Richmond Football Club.
Well, it's meant to be. Mick, legendary coach, played in the last Richmond Premiership, so it was meant to be. He's won 3 of them himself, Mick. Handed over to Damien Hardwick. Well, it goes now as a legend with Tommy Hafey now, Damien Hardwick.
Yeah.
Oh, have a look at Dimmer.
Firstly, commiserations to Adelaide. Obviously had an amazing year and continued that form through finals. The AFL and their partners, I'd like to thank Richmond sponsors Jeep, Bingle, Swinburne and Puma. To all our board, staff, volunteers, there's so many people that make up a football club. They put hard-earned, spend a lot of time at the footy club, and it makes it a pretty special place to be around. Huge thanks to our families, our friends and the boys. It's been an incredible year and I've just loved working alongside you all. And finally, a massive thank you to our fans and our members. You deserve this.
Thank you. Once again, we played an outstanding opposition today. You're a simply wonderful football club, wonderful organisation. We've got a great respect for the Adelaide Crows. We thank you for the competition today. I'd like to thank the AFL. I'd love to thank our sponsors in Jeep, Bingle, Host Plus, the Swinburne Centre and Puma for Dustin. I'd also sincerely love to thank Mrs. Hardwick, who sum her up in those stands up there.
Hey. Danielle Hardwick, his wife.
To Peggy, Brendan, our board, we did it. To my assistant coaches, my football department, the love of my life, the players, I commend you blokes, you're simply outstanding. I've never seen a side like you. You're unique. I love watching you play. You're an incredible team that is now a premiership team. And finally, to the Tiger Army, this one's for you.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. I have much pleasure in inviting Tiger great Matthew Richardson to present the Premiership Cup to Trent Hudson and Damien Harford.
So the Tigers getting the team photo, the fingers up for one flag. They'll be hoping to add to that, but that's all in the future. And the bedraggled Crows take their leave. The toughest feeling at all in football, being defeated on the biggest day of the year, 16-12-108 to 8-12-60. Match review for Charles Tyrrett, where you can get 3 premium business shirts for $99, including delivery. Go to ctshirts.com.au/SEN. We might take a break, and then the lap of honour will start here at the MCG. Here at 11:16 SEN, with thanks to Toyota's Good for Footy program, Subway, X-Drive and Energy Australia, Richmond are the 2017 AFL Premiers. Well, they're about 20% of the way through this lap of honour, and they made their way along that southern side. Richmond just lapping it all up. Jack Revolt, Dion Prestia, all the players out there just sharing the love. They're moving at a reasonable pace, actually. Yeah. I thought they might go a bit slow.
They've done well. They've got the board. Brendan Gale got all the board. Peggy O'Neill in the group photo here, and there's 3 new board members actually, Hutto, from the...
well, they'll claim the credit.
They come on the board of what happened last year. They needed a freshness, but they'd be vindicated, because there's been some boards at Richmond that probably weren't as solid as these guys, and I'm just trying to think of the bald-headed guy who's been there for 20 years.
With a moustache or not?
No, he's got the bald head. He's a great fella. He's the CEO. Well? No, he's the CEO of a huge company. No, he's a ripper. He was Morris O'Shannessy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolute ripper. Very successful businessman.
Well, he was one who was challenged on the board back a little while ago.
He's the one that stepped. He's been there since about 1995, so he's the longest board member down there, and well done to him, because he's seen a lot of turmoil in his day. There's no doubting that.
Just repeating the score, 16-12-108 to 8-12-60. Dustin Martin winning the Norm Smith medal. 13 votes for Dusty. Yeah, he got the best on ground from all but one judge.
Who were the voters, you know?
Yeah.
I will go. By the way, just a couple of tweets from KB. He's tweeted today, and he's going to join us at some stage before we close out. 37 years, it was worth the wait. But on New Year's Eve, he tweeted, someone's retweeted this, got this eerie feeling that the Tigers are going to do in 2017 what the Bulldogs did in 2016. And someone had, spot on, KB, and Dusty gets the Brownlow. Well, there you go, he underestimated.
I've got this eerie feeling that Melbourne are going to do what Richmond did next year.
So you're hoping we can replay that at this time next year?
No, you've got to put it out there.
Yeah, you do.
Well, it gives everyone hope, doesn't it?
It does.
The last 2 years, that would have been 5 million to 1. The Bulldogs.
Imagine you had 100 on the Dogs into the Tigers.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to work again.
Yeah.
Richmond becomes the first team to win a flag after finishing 13th or lower the year before. The votes, so 13 to Dusty, 10 to Hooley, and then 2 to Rance, Edwards and Prestia, and 1 to Graham. I'll give you I'll just find the voters. Matty, do you know who the voters were? Terry Wallace was
Terry
one.
Wallace, Plough.
So we'll just find them. And Chris Judd, I think, was another. We'll go through those for you shortly. Daisy Pearce was another, and Mark McClure.
Sellers.
Dan Rioli's struggling to walk, so Trent Cotchin's had him up on his shoulders, doing half of the lap. No, it never ends for the captain. Jacob Townsend was up at the GWS, who was supposed to have the greatest bunch of talent ever assembled. Couldn't get a game, so I'll go to the Tigers. Couldn't get a game. The Tigers just was belting away in the VFL to the point where he won the Liston Trophy, but wasn't going to get a look in. And then I think it was Jack Revolt, wasn't it, that was injured?
Yep.
They said, all right, we'll throw Jacob in, and he's
kicked 6.
And then here he is 5 weeks later with a Premiership medallion around his neck.
It's amazing. Won the Liston medal. Kicked 6 and 5 and then a couple.
And would have been in the best today, didn't he?
Yeah, no doubt.
So on Jake Lever.
Chris Judd gave 3 votes to Dustin Martin, 2 to Hooley and 1 to Graham. Plough gave 3 to Hooley, so he was the different, the way he saw it differently. 2 to Edwards and 1 to Martin. I've got to say, it was such a hard one, wasn't it? Daisy Pearce, 3 to Martin, 2 to Hurley, 1 to Prestia. Matt McClure, 3 to Martin, 2 to Rance, 1 to Hooley. And Jake Nile was the other, the claw. 3 to Martin, 2 to Hooley and 1 to Prestia.
Yeah, I reckon Martin, Rance, Hooley for me, probably.
Yeah, I was surprised Rance only got 1 voter. Was that Sellers?
Yep.
See, well, I'm pretty biased.
Well, can I ask, when the game was won, was Martin the best player in that period?
Martin, no, look, he was very good, but I think the second half was his best half.
I think there's a couple of times where he set up goals and then he kicked that one before half time, and that just put him on the radar. His second half he exploded a bit. So, and it was one of those ones, Hutto, where if it wasn't him, it would have been, he could have spread it across 4 or 5. It wasn't a clear cutter, probably, even with him. But I mean, he catches the eye, so charismatic. If it was the Brownlow medal voting, he would have got 3 as well. So I'm not surprised. I probably would have gone that way myself.
What about McQualter? The midfield coach.
I didn't give him any votes.
No. I'm just talking about subplots. He was, and I've said this to him. He played about 30 games for the Saints. I think he played one of those grand finals.
Yeah, he did.
Now he's the midfield coach and the mentor to Dustin Martin as a midfield coach. It's an amazing story.
Jack Revolt, punt road end, standing on the fence, arms up. That's a picture.
Yeah, there's a picture. Yeah.
That is a picture. Every photographer in the country sitting down there taking that one. And
his cousin Nick would be feeling. He's played, 3 flags?
Yeah, that's
3
right.
grand finals?
Yeah, never got to experience this feeling. Rowan's been patiently waiting down there. Row, this is where your real challenge as a boundary rider. It's your biggest time of the year to get an interview.
No, I'll be right. They've just done the behind the punt road end goal, so a little bit more time there.
Get Richo on, Rowan. I reckon you'll get Matty Richardson on.
It's a quick lap, Hutto. Yeah. Normally they would have
we've just got to grab who we can, guys, but...
only the top line players is all we're interested in, Rowan.
Okay, no.
What about Richo?
He's
not a player, but he's standing there on his own.
All right.
He's not allowed it on the field, though.
Yeah, but
look.
Sorry, Rowan. I thought you were out there. So
I'm not out there.
Sorry, mate.
They actually used to let us out there.
Sorry, I thought you were down with the players.
What are your thoughts, Ray? From you watched it from ground level today?
Just one side turned up and one side didn't. They were fantastic, the Tigers, and I know I said it during the last quarter. It was very reminiscent of 1990 for me. They just, far more determined. And look, from an Adelaide perspective, really disappointing. They just didn't even fire a shot.
Rocco, if you're writing an article about Adelaide and their coach, what would the heading be? Just about the coaching.
Too late, she cried.
Yeah. Do something.
Yeah, we'll do something.
John
and they just made no attempt to change things up. And I thought they tried to over-finesse too early, even when they had the lead.
They're walking backwards.
They're going back to they've heard talk that Rowan is ready. No, they're heading away from you, Rowan.
They're going back to the Tiger Army, I think, for some reason.
I think they must want to get a shot with all the players with the Tiger Army, maybe.
That's the photo. All the players there.
Oh, here they go. They're going here now.
In the forward pocket.
They're just going there.
It's I've got to say, story aside, not one of the great grand finals really in terms of spectacle.
No, it wasn't. No, as I said during that last quarter, it was for Richmond the greatest game ever. Supporters.
Yeah.
But for us, neutrals, it was a stinking
Jack Rewalt is trying to lead the troops to get back to the Tiger Army, but he's not having much success. No, they're walking now. It's getting a bit frustrated there, Jack.
And look, it's about the probably the most surprising outcome we could have had, isn't it? I mean, you probably would have thought, Adelaide could win by a fair bit. We might get it close. I don't think anyone would have thought Richmond would win by 48 points.
They didn't fire a shot. Adelaide,
not a shot. First,
there's
10 minutes
on the big stage. You want to, you want to be able to put your best foot forward, and there were quite a few that didn't today.
So they got a Toyota truck and a ute, and they've got a whole lot of footies and they're little mini footies, and they're throwing them into the crowd. That's what they've gone back to do. So not quite the.
We're going to get some emotional big photo.
Yeah, no, not quite the.
I'll show you where Uncle Fester is, Gaz. He's walking down to the goal end in the middle of the ground, about 40 metres out.
I tell you what, when they did used to let us out in the ground afterwards, there was one bizarre year. I don't know if you remember this, Hutto. Actually, you probably do, Gaz, but for the wrong reasons. 1988.
The bread.
Yeah, the tip-top high five. They came out and dumped all this bread in the Premiership
That was
Cup.
Dermot.
Yep.
And I think the chief paid for their footy trip.
Yeah,
they did.
That is true.
Yeah,
Really?
They stuffed the cup with bread.
Just have a look at Uncle Fester there, Matty, in the middle of the ground, the centre square. His party trick is obviously to put a light globe in his mouth, and he's an absolute ripper, Fester.
Is that his real name, is it, Spud?
No, I don't know what his real name is. I only know him as Fester.
48 points was the margin at the end of the day. Dustin Martin winning the Norm Smith medal as the celebrations go on. For the players and now they have grouped together behind that goal with the cup, and they are all crowding in with the cheer squad.
Got some kids going there.
Yeah, they've got Cochin's kids there. They've got 9 on their back. I think there's a couple of 1 9 or 2 9s.
The girls, are they? 2 little girls?
Yeah, yep.
Photo opportunity. Are they doing the big photo now, Hutto?
Yep.
There it is. Geez, those supporters will be wrapped up in it. That'll go on the bar, won't it, that photo?
The senior players and...
so not just the ones that play.
Yeah, the VFL players in their suits.
It's a hard feeling for them, isn't it?
Yeah,
I reckon
it's
a mixed feeling. As much as they try and enjoy it, you've heard players talk about that in retrospect over the years. Try and feel like you're part of it.
I tell you what, Hutto, the way they charged on those blokes at the siren, they were as excited as anyone playing, which I think is an insight into what this club is right now. You know, I don't think it hasn't always been that way, but there's this closeness and bond that seems to be beyond any of that.
There's Xavier Clark, another assistant coach, ex-St Kilda, and the Brisbane Lions player.
He's down there too.
Yeah, Xavier. He coached, I think, the Thunder team up in Darwin for great success for a few years, and obviously looks after Den Rioli and the like. 3 St Pat's boys, Premiership players, Rioli, Butler and Sean Grigg from Ballarat, so they'll be pretty happy up there.
Tell you what, Brandon Ellis, we played a bit of an interview with Brandon that I did for Fox for the Rising Star when he was nominated. He thought he was going to lose his father when he was in year 10. His father got a diagnosis of cancer, and they thought it was terminal, and he'd been everything to him, and he gave it was so emotional as you would expect, and somehow he survived, and he's here today watching. I tell you what, there'll be some unbelievable emotions.
Big SEN listener, his dad too. He rings talkback a fair bit.
Right, well, and Brandon gave when they did their honesty sessions at the start of the year, he told that story, and all the Richmond players were in tears when he finished it. And it's been described in that book. We talked to the author that's coming out, and gee, that's going to sell some copies now the year inside Richmond.
No doubt. There's Peter Burge just down in front of us with the white hat on and the shorts. He's the conditioning coach. What a year he's had. No injuries on their list. I think they've averaged 2 injuries a week, and I think the league average is about 8.
Yeah, that's right.
Well done.
That's a big part of it, isn't it?
Big part.
That book you're talking about, Hutto, is that Conrad Marshall?
Conrad Marshall,
yeah, of the age, a great writer, and look, how's that for timing?
Oh no, well he went in 2016 and they called it off after about 6 weeks because they knew it wasn't going to happen. Now the boys are coming towards you, Ro. They're getting closer.
Come on, Rocco.
We're getting him.
Big Toby Nankervis is in front.
Yes, we're creeping closer. It's Toby Nankervis now doing a bit of a hug of the runners, and they've just gone inboard a bit.
We're
just got to get them back out towards the fence.
Could be trouble for you, Rowan. We've never missed in this area before.
Wave.
Here comes
I'm
Dusty.
just going to yell out
Rowan.
here.
Here comes Dusty, Rowan.
Yeah, come on, Rocco.
Don't argue, Ro.
The media manager should say all the radio guys are here.
I reckon they're going to get burnt here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Nikki Melody, she's got her head in the cloud. She hasn't seen us.
What little he's got.
Well, Dane Swan tweeted, "I'm scared." Yeah. So
did he?
There's a photo. Dusty on one side, Brendan on the other, with Peggy in the middle. There's that.
Mick Malthouse is back with us. Mick, what was it like down being amongst it?
Oh, well, first bloke I ran into was Neil Baum. And what a story. I mean, he's been a Premiership player. He's won Premierships in South Australia. He's come over here. He was part of Geelong's. He was with me at Collingwood. He went to Geelong, part of Premierships. Now he's back at Richmond. It's a wonderful story. And then Damien Hardwick, to just present that to him, he was so excited. And I know he had all that stuff all over him. And when he said, "Give me a hug," I thought, "Oh, this is going to go all over my suit." But I felt
just a quick
one,
guys.
It was quite dry.
Quick one, guys. Got Jack Graham with us. Amazing story. 3 goals.
Thought he'd kicked his first goal again. They would have finished on top.
Teams have gone to town on the way they play, so it'll be tough. But it does give hope for everyone else. And what it also has done in the last 2 years, it's challenged the conventional wisdom about what sort of a side you need to win a premiership.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it always used to be 2 big key forwards and another one.
But also, too, Gaz, is that give coaches a chance.
Yeah.
You know, like Beveridge got a chance.
Yeah.
Now, he was a quick chance coming in from where he was, but in Damien Hardwick's case, when he was shot to bits, everyone wanted his blood, spill the blood there. He had a challenge at the board level.
Yep.
So if you stick fat, I've always said in the last 20 years, and I think it's probably more modern football 20 years, teams don't win premierships, clubs do. You need a good, strong board that know what they're doing, administration that support the football side of thing, and then you need a coaching panel and players that are all on the one thing. That's why Richmond have won. They've been steady, they've been backing each other up. It's why the Dogs won last year, and perhaps maybe while the Dogs haven't made it this year, there's been a little bit of things happening there. So Hawthorn have had a great administration, Swans have had a great administration, the Cats have had, and it's no accident that sort of combination win premierships. Teams alone do not win premierships.
Well, now the laps slow down, Hudder. They went hard early, but now they're just soaking it all up, and they can, as is their right, can stay out there until up past 2 in the morning if they want. Just getting around to, I guess, people they know make their way down to the fence, and they're all gathered around the race, but dart off every now and then, and it's great. Not having been there, Mick, you would have, just watching them, it almost you stay up there until the adrenaline slowly oozes out of you, then you go back down the race, and it's like getting a turbo fueled injection of it again.
Well, what they'll do now, if I know at Collingwood in 2010, we went up. The bus took us back to Amy Park. Now, in this case, I'll surely go to Punt Road where the what I think it was stacked there. I know one of my 16,000. You know, it was very. I had a rally come down from Brisbane, and they said no, you can't go there. We're booked out. So they should now probably go. They will not should. They'll go back there. That's the home. I mean, Punt Road is the home of the Tiger, and it'll start all over again, and they'll feel good about themselves. But you know, the sore points will start to come out. Let me tell you, most of these boys will be nice and sore at the end of this game.
Yeah, well, they're all gathering together again, aren't they? Here down in front of the members. And Alex Rance is going to go over and be the last to jump in for another photo session. And looks like Ashbury got the cap, showing it to Justin Lepich.
Don't let go of it. All I say to them, get hold of it, don't let go of it, because it's one of the greatest feelings you'll have after the game.
Yeah, well, I'd like to be down the room. I'm sure Rowan's made his way down there, and it'll be unbelievable when they get down there, because it's going to start up again, and it's going to go to another level. I reckon the boys are just about to head off, and stand by. Dusty looks like he's just rearing to go. Yeah, he's going to lead them off.
Like a wild bull, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to lead them off. No, he's been called back.
Just in terms of coaches, I heard Damien Hardwick talk about his assistants. Mick, give us a bit of an insight into that, about who you're sort of thinking of. Obviously your players and the boys you love, but also the assistants around.
The assistant coaches. I was lucky enough, as you know, just to be on the way down to give the winning coach in Damien Hardwick the medal. And on the way down, the team went down. That team went down, which is really good. And they were genuinely pleased for one another. You could just see this, you know, Justin Lepich, who's had a let's face it, he's had an indifferent career as a senior coach. And then you've got Blake Carasello. I've had a bit to do with Blake at Collingwood. And he's been part of now premierships at both clubs. And so, but he was as equally as Rapp. So that team is, you never forget the team that was behind you to help you through.
So Trent Cotchin and his wife with his two young daughters posing out there with a photo, his wife Brooke. And you think about him last year. Oh, here we go. Cotchin's raised the cap again. They'll do that time and time again.
They're heading off, aren't they?
They're heading off.
Down the race. This is where Rocco can shine down there.
Yeah, we're just waiting to see whether he's in position or not downstairs.
Malcolm Speed down there.
Yeah, he was on the board, wasn't he, at one stage, and tried to become
Francis Jackson,
president.
Recruiting officer. He's been there for a long time, Francis Jackson, probably 15 years.
Yeah, suddenly the recruiting officers and list managers that got pilloried for so many years suddenly go, I picked him and I picked
Hartley.
him. Yeah. And there's a whole posse of photographers that just have to try and make way as Trent Cotchin carries the cup down to the rooms.
I was just looking at it with Jack Graham one hand.
I was just going to say.
Trent on the other, and I'm just looking at that boy and I'm thinking, 5 games in. I hope you know what you've just done.
How good's that? Down to you, Ro.
Okay, they're coming in now, guys. Oh, boy, is there a crowd in here. It jammed in, and this place is going to explode, I think. We've heard a few pretty powerful renditions of this song over the years, but this is going to be like nothing else, I reckon. Amazing. I've never seen this room as packed. All the officials, training staff, support staff, here they come. And the long-suffering fans. Oh, here comes Trent Cotchin with the cup. Jack Graham got in there first with him, Sean Grigg. And, gee, there's such joy. It's so great to see the faces on those guys, particularly the ones that have been around a fair while. And Sean Grigg came across from Carlton, probably career at the Crossroads, and it's been a great player for him. Really...
great ruckman.
Well... They've all played their role, haven't they? It's been the ultimate team performance today.
He didn't have one tap, but he got the ball on the ground, and that's the game plan. So
okay, they're getting all the other players who weren't part of it. There's Sam Lloyd coming in. This is great stuff. Reece Conker in there, Jake Batchelor. So all the blokes that have been part of it this year. And it's going to be a big circle.
There's enough room.
Yeah, there might not be enough room.
Well, we're right on the fringe of it. You mentioned Andrew McWilder before. He's in this circle too. Of course, he played in a couple of grand finals unsuccessfully.
I'd suggest that, I know it's going to take a while, but maybe an inner and an outer
two
circle.
rings.
Maybe.
Josh Caddy can't. He's stuck in the middle.
A few of the young fellas are into the sponsors product already.
Alex Rance just getting the cup in the middle. Josh Caddy directing traffic here. We're being pushed back. It's a very big circle, boys.
Still heaps of people outside, of course, waiting for the concert, but waiting for this moment as well, Ro.
Yeah.
Watching it on the scoreboard.
Well, we'll bring in the atmosphere as best we can, but it's just fantastic scenes. I think you talked about that disbelief.
They want Dimmer in there, I think. He's there he is. He's in now.
There's Dimmer.
Dion Prestia coming in there now.
Van Marich coming in as well there, right?
Yeah, it's there's probably about 40 odd people in this circle now. Here we go. Oh, now the players have just rushed in there, holding it up aloft again. Just spontaneous explosion of joy at the end of that. Here's Dimmer getting out of the way. Well done, Dimmer. I think he wants a minute alone. Fantastic scenes, boys. Everyone's swamping these players now. Everyone wants to be part of it. It's Bashar Hawley. There's Dion Prestia. I might just see if I can grab a quick word with him, if that's all right. Dion. Just circling around a few of them now. Don't quite know how to react, some of those guys.
Well, yeah, the realisation that they've won the flag, when you talk about the start of the year.
It's unbelievable, I know we can say it. It is unbelievable. The way they've gone about it, from where they were over the summer. Even I'm looking at the list still, and you look at it and you go, is that a premiership list? Is that a premiership choice? Well, damn right it is, and they've earned it, every one of them. And it makes you look at, makes you look at footy differently. And we said, you weren't here, I don't think, Mick, when we were talking about it. Stats and figures and numbers and I mean, they have been able to lock in on this intangible aspect of footy where they love each other in a footy sense. They're prepared to sacrifice. They're prepared to play roles. It's not about who's the best. It's about what we can do together. And when you get that right, and you've got that right as a coach, when you get that right,
here's the legend.
Powerful.
Here he is.
It's
Tiger time.
Yeah,
let's get him on. KB, the last Richmond player to win a Norm Smith medal in 1980.
Yes,
KB, kick 7. Well done, KB. Congratulations, mates.
Put yourself on, Kev.
Well done, KB.
Well done.
Well done,
How do you feel, KB?
Look, I feel so excited for all those Richmond fans who have been waiting for 37 years, and as we said before the game, all the families, and there's so many people, just downstairs at the moment, so happy getting photographs with everyone, just so thrilled, that they've been able to experience winning a premiership after 37 years. Looked like, halfway through the second quarter, Adelaide looked gone halfway through the second quarter. Yeah. And the start of the third quarter, they just weren't in the game after that, were they?
No. So you've underestimated Richmond, haven't you, today?
I did.
You tipped them by 29 points and they won by 48.
I told you I'm losing it. I'm absolutely losing it.
Guys, I'm just sorry. I'm still down the room. Got Jason Castagna here with us. Well done, Jason. Congratulations, mate. How's it feel?
Yeah, pretty amazing. Just soak it in still. And I'm just lapping it up.
It's hard to believe it's happened. I mean, given, I guess, where you've come from, but first winning a spot in this side, then what the side's achieved during the year, then winning a flag, going in as underdogs. But you guys have just smashed everyone this final series.
Yeah, I think we've kind of, from last year, our expectations have just kind of, it probably wasn't this, but look, we've just kept on exceeding our expectations and getting better and better, and it's just pretty good. Yeah.
How'd you go with the nerves and everything pre-game?
Well, I was pretty nervy early on, but once you get out there, it's just you just can't smile. You can't not smile. It's that good.
At what point did you think we've got it? I'm going to play in a premiership.
I think when Butts kicked that check side goal and it went in, we all started celebrating that pretty hard. I think that's when it was kind of sunk in that we're probably going to win it.
Well done. Congratulations on behalf of everyone at SEN. Amazing performance by yourself to get where you are and be part of it. There's so many great stories in this side. I reckon you're going to be enjoying them for a while.
Bloody oath, I will. Thanks, mate.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, bro.
I tell you what, before the game, Garry was suggesting and telling us about the number of goals that have been kicked against Richmond, how Richmond have been able to hold all the sides to very small numbers of goals, and really, three-quarter time, what were they, 5 goals or something like that?
5, 9 and 8 in the final series.
Just fantastic.
But that's that defence. You see, best defence always beats the best offence, and history has shown it time and time and time again, and it's been repeated.
And the other stat...
Well, their forward line was very poor today, wasn't it? The Crows' forward line,
But it was out of kilter though, Kev. It was
the Talls never
not balanced.
Couldn't do anything.
Just on the stats.
Hey, guys,
couldn't get into the game.
Got Dion Prest here with us. Well done, Dion. Interesting season for you. I reckon it's fair to say you made the right move.
Yeah, unbelievable. Just this group of boys is just unbelievable. We connect so well on and off the field, and the results show. So we'll be definitely celebrating this one for sure.
At what point of this season did you sort of feel like something special was brewing?
I feel probably those losses that we had. We had 3 losses in a row by under a goal or whatever it was, and I just felt that nothing really changed, and we were just always connected so well, and I feel that was really a turning point in our season.
Do you feel like the pressure you guys apply on opposition, it's almost gone to another level again this final series?
Oh yeah, you got to step up in the final series, and that's pretty much our DNA. That won us all these finals games, and probably in the second half we just grew another leg, and our pressure was outstanding. It probably won us the game.
Your first grand final along with everyone else, how'd you go with the nerves?
I was good up until the parade, and then once we got into here, it was just routine as normal, which was good. But obviously we handled our nerves pretty well. And
what was the point in the game today where you thought we're home, no more nerves, we got it?
I think when Jack kicked his set shot, and then we kind of look around at each other and start smiling, a few winks, and then. Yeah, it was just unbelievable feeling. We were able to actually soak it up and just enjoy it as it was going on.
Now, you've got a stubby in your hand. How many of these can you get through in the next 24 hours, you reckon?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've had one, so we'll see how we go.
Well done, mate. Congratulations on behalf of everyone at SEN. Great job.
Cheers. Thank you.
Dion Prest here, one of the stars today. He got 2 votes in the Norm Smith medal, and we're just talking, KB, about
what was the voting for the Norm Smith medal?
It was 13 to Dusty, 10 to Hooley, 2 to Rance, 2 to Edwards, 2 to Prest.
I think they were the 2 best players on the ground, no doubt about that. They were absolutely fantastic. And just hearing what Dion was saying there, the pressure with Garry and Danny, the pressure they applied, they made some elementary mistakes under pressure, the Crows, didn't they? They'd be handballing to teammates who were just about to be tackled, and their decision who they were going to kick the ball to.
That was Paul Seedsman on a couple of occasions. He wasn't on his own, and it was like a suffocation, KB. It started.
But even when they had marks earlier in the game, Gaz, we were looking at their faces when they were kicking, and they looked sort of scared.
And the one thing, I don't know what you thought, KB, but from here and from the commentary point of view, the denying Adelaide of the corridor, which I know is a trendy modern day term, but when they're at their best last week, they came through the middle of the ground and split it open. They spent 80% of the time out on the boundaries of the MCG. And tactically, or whether it just involved, I'm sure it was tactics, that was the key to it for me. They could not get through the middle. Slow ball, high ball in. Can't mark it in their forward 50, bang the other way.
Well, just on stats, they had 197 kicks and 150 handballs, and Richmond nearly went 2-1. 212 kicks, 128 handballs, and it gets back to uncontested possessions. Adelaide won that, but as you said, Gaz, they just went wide. But the contested ball, Richmond 170, Adelaide 140. So winning the contest, one-on-one, under pressure. We want to talk about Adelaide just for your point of view, KB. We just were surprised that Don Pike didn't even up his forward line. Like, there was 4 forwards. They win the centre clearance, and there's 7 Richmond defenders.
Yeah, they pushed back. They did a mighty job outnumbering the Crows on their forward line. So that much celebrated forward line just
never gave a yelp today. But I think what you're saying, Gary, about going through the centre, when you've got sides, that are chasing you down and applying pressure and smothering the ball off the boot, and players thinking they were in the clear, and then being chased down and harassed. All of a sudden you lose your confidence, don't you? Because you're going to hurry your kick, you're trying to hurry your handball because you think, you know what, there's referred pressure. Someone's about to tackle me, even when there wasn't under pressure on certain occasions. But they were just relentless, the Tigers today, relentless.
I want to ask you this, KB. We've been listening, or SEN people have been listening to you for a long time, and this year's been fantastic because we've ridden the journey with you. I think there's a bit of tongue-in-cheek about a lot of it early, and your great faith in the side. I want to know when you really believed, at what stage. And if you tell me round one, then I'll believe you. But tell me when all the gamesmanship which you employ, which we love, but when did the reality catch up to it and go, boy, hell, I think they actually can.
I reckon it was about halfway through the season. And I think even when they lost games, and we heard Jason Castagna say before, and they lost games, but they only lost them by a goal. They were just about the most consistent side all year, and they lost to Adelaide Crows, and then they had the aberration against St Kilda. But I think it was just their consistency, and I think we could see the belief in the small forward line, the one key forward, and the pressure they were applying. And sides were struggling against it. The Richmond side. I can remember, Gary, at the start of the year, you were commentating a game, I think it was against Collingwood, might have been a JLT